Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How's everyone doing today? Hope you guys had a fantastic weekend. Hope everyone is doing well. Uh, Let me know, guys, if you can hear me clearly and if everything is working as it should be. All right, so today we have a very interesting market here, right? One of our favorite plays. So basically, we have here a huge divergence between the VIX and the SPY. So if we look here, we have Nasdaq and the futures up, right? Up 0.3%, up 0.3% almost, right? And at some point, this was up like almost half a percent each, okay? But if we head down here to the VIX, right, and we'll look at our chart, we see VIX has been going up a lot, right? So VIX is up 3.4% at $25.4. We see here a huge gap up, right? And it's been refusing to go down since then. Just for reference, just one small thing to keep in mind, that the futures actually opened up red, right? So we see here this gap down, and what do we always say about futures gap down, right? It is very rare that the future gap down or gap up or whatever gaps do not fill, right? Gaps may take time to fill on the SPY or the QQQ, but it is very rare to have a gap that does not fill the same day on the future, at worst same week, right? So obviously we very quickly went up and filled our gap here on the futures, right? So very interesting stuff, right? Very interesting, and we've been through these things before. We've been through divergence, and we know what happens, right? Usually a sharp move. So with the VIX just absolutely refusing to go down here, right? One has to ask, are we heading for a leg down here, or are we heading for a move up? So we're gonna go into technicals, and we're gonna go over individual stocks that make the components of every of the SPY and QQQ, and we're gonna try to figure out what's going on, right? So we need to find out what the hell is going on here. So we're gonna do that in a sec here. All right, so let's see. So what does the futures tell us, right? So let's start with the 1 hour chart. So of course, after the FMOC meeting drop, right? We've experienced a huge drop, of course, in the FMOC. Day after consolidation, then more drop, and we were expecting to make new lows here, but what did we get instead? We got a huge rally here, right? And this was on Friday, right? Very all over the place, right? So it dropped off, went up, right? It's basically all over the place here, right? So since then we've been rallying a little bit here, and it seems that we're going towards the 200 MA on the 1 hour. So for me, this is definitely a very important MA here. So let's say we have the 50 MA and we have 200 MA here. So did the MA get tested properly? So we have here first it dropped down and then it immediately jumped up. So it is not crazy to expect it to go back down and test it properly, because this is not a proper test, right? And on the other hand, we're very damn close to the 200 MA that it also makes sense for us to go test it here and then get a huge rejection afterwards. So again, today is going to be a very difficult day to predict. It's going to be all over the place. Angelique says, good morning. Was a challenge to fight you. Great morning to you, Angelique. May I ask why? Because I am seeing the usual people have not shown up yet. Why was it hard to find me? Is the link not working, or did I not post in the proper thing? Would be helpful if you can let me know so everyone can join us here. Let's see. Can't find you. Yeah, I would love if you can tell me like why you were unable to find me. That would be super helpful, so we can get it sorted so everyone can join us. But yeah, so okay, until we get that info here, we have this. So we can see, of course, here this resistance that we drew before, or what used to be resistance, acting now as support, and we see this hourly wick, right off the support here. So we can see sort of strong support, and we can also kind of see sort of a bull flag forming here, right? So we have some sort of maybe bull flag formation, right, forming here. So it is possible, and I think this is how the day is gonna play out. Again, we're gonna wait, of course, for our signals and our levels. Nothing out of the ordinary here. But my expectations is that we go up, test 200 MA, and just make our way down here. Do not forget the VIX is uncharacteristically up when we have been just absolutely killing it going on the way up here. So just crazy, right? So, all right, we got Sizian says alert work fine for me. So that's good. That's good. That's one last thing we have to worry about. Jay says good morning. Early start today. Very nice. Great morning to you, my friend. Yes, sir. Early bird gets the worm. We do have this crazy divergence on our hand here, so we're gonna have to figure out what's going on. Now, onto the VIX, right? The VIX is gonna be very critical for us today. Now, what did the VIX do last time, right? We have been talking about these trend lines for, I believe, the longest time here, going on to 4 months now, if not more. I believe it's more. I think sometime, March, April, right? Huge. These two trend lines have been serving us very faithfully, and we can see here almost to the penny, right? Look at this. Look at where we had these trend lines way before the challenge, right? And we've been discussing them and looking at them for a while. And look at that, to the penny, right? Just strong rejection right off it. So what does that tell us? That tells us that a lot of people also have these trend lines drawn down, right? So institutions, algos, other retail investors, right? They also have the same trend lines. So we're not the only ones seeing them, which is always good. This is what you want, right? You want confluence on your lines across the market. This is how you know you have good lines. Okay, so what can I glean from this? So the first possibility is that we go down and fill the gap here, right? This is definitely a possibility. But look at this very strange formation here, right? So it is almost to the penny, trying very hard not to fill it, right? So this is, oh, oops, yeah, the screen was not showing. I just had my face and I did not have, yeah, my bad. Okay, so that's sorted out. So okay, I'm just gonna go over everything quickly here. Futures, we have this wick of the hourly chart. If we see it here, wick of this resistance that we drew before, now support, perfect wick. It is possible that we have a bull flag formation as such, right? So this could be a possible bull flag here, and expectations is possibly we see this bull flag play out. We see a run up to test the 200 MA right here and then fall back down. This is a possibility, and the reason we're worried and we think it will go down is because the VIX. Now again, like I said, these two trend lines that we had drawn here have been treating us very well, right? And if you look here a little bit, right, and it will just be, look at this, almost to the penny, does not want to fill. Just absolutely does not want to fill, right? It's crazy, right? And we see it here, of course, respecting our trend lines to the penny, right? But here it really does not want to fill the gap pre-market for some reason, right? So again, our second objective here today is figuring out why this is going on. Okay, so why are people getting into puts, right? Why are people hedging their positions? What are they afraid of? We have CPI at the end of the week. That is one thing. And second of all, we have a shit ton of Fed speakers, speaking this week, right? I think we have a few today. We have pretty much almost a Fed speaker speaking almost every day. And this is the first time they speak after the famous, Jerome Powell, super hawkish, FMOC meeting. So the market pretty much wants to hear from them and wants to hear how, where they're at, how things are going, because Jerome Powell seems to be, I don't want to say all over the place, but he kind of was blindsided by this idiot asshole who just gave him the wrong information, told him the market was super hot, super running, right? So he had to go extra hawkish, to make sure the market is not going nuts. So since then, we've not heard anything from the Fed, and today will be the first day we hear from Fed speakers. So and a lot of them, not just today, but throughout the whole week. So it's gonna be pretty damn important, right? So this is another possible reason, right? Again, the market has been reacting still bullishly, right? With the except, even given how everything has been going, still has been pretty damn bullish, right? So will the Feds come out today and the next week and again go off on us and make sure that we're heading in the right direction, which is down, or will they be like, no, like it looks like the market is reacting appropriately, things are not so bad. So this is a very, very possible reason why we're seeing a lot of hedging, right? So usually the VIX goes up not because the market is going down as much as people are hedging. People are worried about their positions. They do not like where the market currently is at, and they expect it to go down. So instead of selling off their positions, right, they just hedge. So this is definitely a very, very possible reason. Okay. So what about the components of the SPY, right? Again, this is super important here. So we have AMD up almost 1%. We see here this beautiful wick on the 21 MA on the 1 hour chart. Very, very bullish, extremely bullish, and opened right above this resistance line here at 62.6. So if it's able to maintain and hold this till the open, right, we can see a very big candle here at the open. It's probably going to test the week highs here at 64 almost, right? So that could be a nice scalp for us right at the open, given that the market maintains its bullish momentum. And this also makes sense because if AMD goes up this much, it will push the semis, which will push tech, which will push the SPY and the QQQ, and we can possibly get our test of the 200 MA, after which we see the VIX, fulfilling, what it's been showing us, and then dragging the whole market down with it. So definitely something we're gonna have to wait and see for. So Nvidia not as hot as AMD, up only 0.5%. Okay, Nvidia has earnings not this week, I think the week after, so that could be a possible reason. Intel doing a little bit better, almost up 7%, and Micron up only 0.5%, right? So it seems the AMD is the outlier here, it's running a little bit hot, which makes sense, earnings behind it, the okay-ish numbers, not so bad. Tesla, as always, all over the place. So and like ending Friday, we could have said that, hey, this here is a very obvious bear flag, right? So had things not progressed the way they had, pre-market, we could have said, no, guys, this is a very, very clear bear flag here. And of course, if we lose the 203.8 support line that we had on our chart for a while here, we would have said, no, it would have gone down and everything. But from what I'm seeing here, no, it held this line like a champ. 2 times here, 2 tests. These are hourly candles, by the way. These are not even 5 minutes. So held off and moved on to the next level of support here, which is the 207, right? So again, expectations here, if this gets if it's able to hold this, and we have this on the watch list, right? If we are able to hold this area here, we can very easily see Tesla bounce back, especially if the market is bullish. We can very easily see Tesla bounce back and go up here to test 216 and maybe even the 225 line. Do not forget though that stocks that are affected by the Chinese market probably will not do so well because China has been doubling down on their zero COVID policy, right? They have been shutting down, and they actually, I think Friday, they came out and said, despite the rumors, because this is why the Chinese market was running, because people thought, hey, like it's just a rumor, they're not shutting down anything. No, they came out and flat out said, guys, we're shutting down, we're doubling down, zero COVID, not a possibility. We're not doing it, right? So we're just gonna close down everything. So this is why, of course, you're seeing Apple bleeding, absolutely bleeding. Look at this, Apple's horrible, down 1.5%, just like absolutely crazy. Look at this, super bearish, right? And why? What triggered downfall? Of course, profit taking a little bit after earnings, that's to be expected. But the real craziness has been happening because one of the areas where Apple has its factories for iPhone manufacturing and other things as well, it was directly affected by the shutdowns. So of course, you can imagine we already have supply side issues in the market. Now add to that, one of your factories getting shutting down. This is an absolute catastrophe. Huge problems. We're even below our earnings level. We're below the low of the earnings right now. It's actually sort of kind of serving as support here for the moment, right? So we can have a nice support line here, right? And if we're unable to hold this, right, we can very easily see Apple. Look at this wick. It's a very telling wick, right? With the body, trying to go over the 20, with the wick trying to go over the 21 MA, failing, and the body forming here, right, underneath support, right? This candle closes like this, right? This is very bad for Apple, right? You can see another huge red down candle here, at least testing this area, maybe the lows of last week, 133, right? And very well warranted, again, with everything shutting down. Apple is a bit scary to get into right now. So again, something to keep in mind. And we've seen what Apple does to the market last time. We've seen Apple literally pull the whole market down with it when everything was green. Apple single-handedly pulled down the whole market. Of course, Tesla joined on board and just, double down on it. But like, it started with Apple and it was very, very bad. So something very critical and important to keep in mind. So what's Amazon up 0.7% here? Microsoft not doing much, neither here nor there, right? So that's definitely something to keep in mind. Netflix, I think, was red, now slightly green. Again, Netflix is a similar situation here. I still need to see it close above the 21 MA, the 50 MA, and right now, since we have 200 MA, ideally I want to see it also close above the 200 MA, right? Because I don't want to say this is bearish, but this does not look to me like gap filling momentum at all. This is just people getting out, not in droves, but people getting out nonetheless. Right. So Angelique says EM is being EM again on Friday with his comments. Yeah, I mean, like Elon Musk, I don't want to say he's the direct reason we're seeing, Tesla being this way. Of course, it affects it. Obviously, that goes without saying. But again, like they do have a Chinese factory. China has not really been very favorable on him. I don't know if you saw that tweet where the guy came out and said like he has government affiliations, and he basically said we're just like we're gonna put Elon back in his place in so many words. This is not a direct quote, right? So it would not be weird to see all of a sudden the area where the Chinese factory is for Tesla all of a sudden becoming zero COVID area, right, where it has shut down. So it's scary, right? So makes sense, seeing Tesla rotating downwards. I don't know. To me, it makes sense. It's. I would be scared to hold Tesla long term, given how China has been dealing with everything, right? And if you guys saw on the watch list, you saw the breakdown by Moody's, right? 60% of the reason why we have inflation is supply side issues, right? And you don't want to compound that now, right? It's already way too bad because of supply side issues, right? So even if the Fed does its job 120%, right? We have 0% demand side issues. We still have 60% of inflation because of supply side issues, right? So this is not good, right? And unless these things get resolved, and China being a major component of them, no, like it's gonna get worse, right? So China doing what it's doing will just hurt anything that slightly depends on China way too much, right? VIX is pumping. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, like it's still around the same level where we left it. Again, it really does not even want to start. Look at this. Look at this curl. It's just like it feels like it's going out of its way to not even start the gap fill. I don't know. Maybe they're like saving it, quote unquote, for for the market open. Just it will be like in that case, of course, the classical bull trap. Let people come in and everything, and then bam, once it hit the 50 MA, we see a big, huge candle downwards to start to fill the gap. Very possible, very possible. Market has been like all over the place lately, so I wouldn't really put it past them. VIX again in this area is like abnormally high. Come on, 3.5% up, right? With the futures, being up 2%. I don't know. Doesn't make much sense to me here. And there we go. We're seeing again a test of this line here. So it does seem to be going down a little bit as we head towards the open, 1 minute towards the open, which makes a little sense here. So now that we're very close to the open, let's quickly jump into our SPY and look at our levels. So what are the 4 levels we look at, guys? Pre-market high, so that will be right here, right, which is also yesterday's high, one of the other levels we'll look at. So this level here, 378.9 is going to be extremely important. Okay, we have a gap down to fill here, so that's one thing in the bearish corner here for us. And pre-market low is exactly this 37 line support anyway, so another confluence here that we have. And of course the pre-market low, yesterday's low will be right here. That will be 307. So these are our major 3 levels that we'll be looking at here today. 378.9, which is almost 379. We'll be looking at 375, and we'll be looking at 370. These are the 3 main levels to look at today, right? So all right, so it looks like a market open here. Let's see here. Market opens in 1 hour. We had son of a bitch. Okay, that makes sense. That's why you're saying it was early. Ah, I hate daylight savings. Ah, what the hell? No, we're gonna spend more time together. Okay, no problem. We're gonna spend more time together. That's gonna be fun. I was like, hey, the market is not really moving that much in the open. This is very uncharacteristic. Okay, that makes much more sense. Okay, so now we can actually analyze things even better. Let's do it. Awesome. This is fun. Okay, so actually let's go towards the watch list and let's go over some earning plays, right? So. By the way, I skipped a lot of earnings plays because I didn't have time to finish them. But like there is a bunch of them that really good earnings this week. Uh, Angelique says this is why we said it was early. Yeah, that makes so much sense now that you guys said it was early. Okay, that makes so much sense. But we love it. Thank you, Angelique, and I really appreciate every single one of you guys. Appreciate your time and appreciate you trusting me with your pre-market time as well. It means a lot to me. LP Trade says morning, morning, my good friend. All right, so. This is funny. This is funny. I didn't know. Goddamn timeline savings. Okay. So this changes things a little bit, right? But I want to go over the earnings and the CPI day because we can prepare for this from now, right? So this is better, right? Let's make good use of this time. All right, I got my water in and I'm prepared. So Lyft. So Lyft is, I don't know. Okay, Uber was weird. Okay, Uber had mixed results. They beat EPS, but they missed revenue, or vice versa. We're gonna check, right? But here's the thing: they had a spike and then they died off. Why? Double downgrade, right? It was not good for them. And don't forget Uber has been going out of its way to make changes, right? So they have new management, new everything, and they've been promising all these like crazy changes, right? So hold on, let me just reset the chart here. There we go. Right, so they have been promising us like all these like crazy changes here, right? So look at the earnings. Yeah, missed EPS 250%, but they slightly beat revenue. And don't forget, also they had more bookings. So for growth companies like Uber and Lyft, you really want to see like more revenue is cool and important, but you really want to see more users. You want to see more users coming in. They're growth companies. That's the only thing that justifies their crazy out of this world, PA ratios, right? But if you go here on the flow and you put in Lyft, right, and we'll look here at the option chains. Look at this, crazy bearish, right? Crazy bearish. So the highest open interest, right? See, 10,850 contracts here is on the 20th of January 2023. That's almost like 2 months out. The 12.5 puts. Look at this, 99% bearish activity, right? And then you have the one right after that, right? Is the 4th of November. That was last week, right? That was bearish. We don't care about that. And the one right after that is right here, 11th of November, right? These are people directly playing the earnings. They're playing earnings that expire this week, right? So 96% of this has been bearish. And if you're wondering why like a put option chain or call option chain has different like activity, like wouldn't all puts be bearish and all calls be bullish? The answer to that is very simple. No, you can sell a put or you can sell a contract. So if I'm selling a call, right, that would be bearish, and if I am selling a put, that would be bullish, right? So in this case here, again, we see here huge bearish activity across the board, right? Like for the people directly playing this and looking future of Lyft, it has been overwhelmingly bearish, right? The only one that's slightly bullish here has very small open interest, right, at 463 contracts, which is the 11th of November put, right? So another important thing to look at also is, let's see here, okay, so that would be the premium flow. So I basically have the premium at 100K plus, okay? So 100K plus here, and then I select, let's see, I like to look at the next 5 weeks out. Okay, so again, we need to consider another thing when looking at the flow. So what you want to be doing is you want to have another window, and you want to make sure that you load up the hold on here. Yeah, you load up the chart, right? So you want to make sure that you're not looking at bullish activity or bearish activity on days where overall the whole market was going up or down, right? Because in that case, it'll be just people buying the stock because it was just a bullish day, so they expect it to go up, right? So that wouldn't really count. Okay, so let's see here. So we have here the 18th, the 25s, just a mix of 18s and 25s. So all contracts bought above 100k were just for the next couple of weeks, right? So no one is really buying this far out, which is the first bearish sign. People do not really have much confidence in this. Last day, which was Friday, 60% of the flow was bearish. Almost 57% of the premiums were bearish, right? So again, these are all not good signs here. Now buys above 100k, I'm not really seeing anything that stands out per se. So Friday was mixed, one bearish, one bullish. The day before it, right, the 31st, which was Thursday, one neutral, which that means we don't really know what it was bullish or bearish, but we had a bearish play here. The day before it neutral, right? So we see it going from bullish to bearish as we head towards the earning, right? So the direction of the flow really matters as well. This is unusual whales, by the way, that I'm using for this, but if you guys have any other like tool that you prefer to look at, just go for it. So Lyft is one that I am slightly bearish on. It's not my favorite play, honestly, but I think it was kind of interesting to include it because it has 18.6% move on earnings. So a very, very big move that's gonna happen on Lyft here, right? And they laid off employees, which of course you're gonna say, hey, like everyone has been doing that, but they've been doing it more than most, right? So they had 2 rounds laying off employees, not looking so good for them, right? So you cannot go wrong here with a straddle, right? If you want to play it safe, right? Have 2 legs, puts and calls, that would not be a bad idea, right? Go for it for sure, right? Get the get the bullish move and get the bearish move just in case something happens. But yeah, for me, like this, I'm slightly bearish on this, but it's not my favorite play, honestly. Now Affirm, this one I have been waiting on this for a very, very long time. Affirm an upstart, right? And as expected, 25% move on earnings. I have been really waiting for this because if you look at the chart, if they beat, and I really, really hope they beat, I expect they beat, and if they beat, the move for the earnings will be the first of the first leg up actually of a much, much bigger move, right? So you can clearly see here on the 1-day chart. All right, so look at this. So Affirm right now is at 52-week low, actually all-time low, right? Look at this, it's never been lower, right? Except for a little bit right here on the earnings, right? But look at what usually happens. So we went here from $13 all the way up to $30, right? Almost double, okay, on good earnings. That was 12th of May, okay? So it really does move on earnings. This is why it has a very high implied move. Not because people expect it to drop a lot, but the implied move mostly is because people expect it to really go up, right? So bullish flow, super bullish flow, and pretty much everyone in the industry, right? All the banks, we've been over this before. We played a few of them even. All the banks beat, SoFi beat, MasterCard beat, Square beat, everyone beat, right? So I really think here Affirm will also beat. With a 25% implied move, you cannot go wrong here, honestly, doing a straddle. Again, I didn't include it here, that's why you really can't go wrong. Buy a call, buy a put, slightly out of the money each way, and you're safe, right? Because again, don't forget, correlation does not equal causation, right? Not because everyone beat, it means they will also beat. Of course, highly likelihood, and in my opinion, I do believe they beat, but you never know, so you can always get a put as protection. But I'm super excited for this one. I think this one will move well past this high here at 41.7. I'm probably gonna get like one short-term call, or not one, maybe 2 short-term calls, and then I'm gonna get like 2 a bit longer-term calls. So I'm gonna buy probably this week's expiry. Let's look at the options flow here. At the options chain and see the prices for everything, how much we can buy. Just need to log in my account. Okay, options. Let's see here. Firm. I mean, $16, right? It's gonna be pretty damn cheap, I'm sure. Okay, so let's load this up here. There we go. Okay, so yeah, they're super cheap. Like November 18th, right? This is what? This is 2 weeks out. That is pretty damn cheap here. Now, IV is ridiculously high. 130% is not a good IV to be buying at, like, at all, right? But it is what it is. It is what it is. I think I think I'm gonna start doing, like, earning season is almost over, so you know I'm gonna skip this for now. But like starting next earning season, or if earning comes up, any major earnings comes up, I'm gonna do like this week watch list. We'll have the next 2 weeks out earnings, right? Or next 3 weeks out earnings, because we can't keep buying stocks with this much IV. Like this is pretty bad. This is not good. We can be right and get IV crushed anyway. And buying further out, by the way, does not really save you that much. Like IVs across the board, so you're gonna get crushed anyway. Ken says that sounds better. Yeah, right. Like I don't like that we keep getting stuck in this position where we have to buy high IV stuff. Like yeah, we're gonna start changing things here for sure. All right. So, but that being said, right? So, what do I think is a good expiry for this one? I personally see the November 18 calls as super cheap here, right? At just like basically $200 at the money. That's not bad. We can get a couple of contracts here, right? We can get two 16.5 contracts for a firm here, 11 days out. I mean, that's still pretty cheap for everyone. And if they beat, and I expect they will beat, but if they beat, and only if they beat, I might get November 25 calls as well. You know, once it pulls back, of course, after on the open. So once it pulls back, I will be buying, you know, like either more November 25. Yeah, I think it'll be a mix, November 18 and November 25 calls, right? So a little bit, you know, both near dated, but I think like a firm has a lot of room to run. It really wants to run. Like, again, this has been coiled up for a very long time. If this reminds you of anything, by the way, guys, it reminds you of the Netflix chart, right? Before it kept like moving on like a beast. So, and Upstart, even better, right? By the way, I think I'm gonna take Upstart as a sympathy play, right? Because if a firm beats Upstart, is gonna beat, like, it's kind of a no-brainer, right? So if they beat, like, look at this here, right? So last earnings, you know, miss, last earnings beat, and Upstart I think was in line. Yeah, miss and beat here, neck and neck almost. But Upstart has this pretty beautiful gap here to fill. Look at this one here, and I have been itching to play this gap for a long time. This is a very big gap. I know it does not look big at the chart, but this is a very, very big gap. Upstart is almost $20 now. This gap fills at $75. This is one huge gap, right? Huge gap here, right? And again, Upstart, perfect position to run up. 52-week lows, right? Almost below IPO price here, right? So it is just, again, loss of consolidation. It refuses, like, despite bad earnings, it's not really you know, like, going down, like, it's refusing to lose you know, any the IPO price here. So that's nice. So to me, this just says, again, this is a stock that's itching to go up, right? People are saying here, this is more than fair value, right? And I'm just gonna hold on to this, and I'm just gonna, you know, like, I'm gonna wait for it to go up, because I think here, this is more than fair value. So for me, yeah, I can definitely see I hope this goes up, because I've been dying to play this gap up here. And I will also be getting Upstart calls before you know, like, before a firm, right? So, like, let's see here, Upstart is November 8th, that's tomorrow, right? So I think around the same time with a firm. So I'm gonna get, like, calls on both, right? And hopefully they beat. Again, my same, it's my, like, it's just like, it's the same reasoning. Again, the whole industry beat. Every basically finance stock has been running. They all have better revenues, better earnings, better everything. So my guess is that they also beat. SoFi beat. Come on, SoFi beat. CryptoPanda is saying, I got it right on PayPal and AMD. By the next day, I was read to you high IV. There you go, right? That's the problem, right? That is the damn problem with IV, and we cannot keep getting stuck and losing money on plays after we did all the due diligence and all our hard work, figuring out which way to go, which is not easy, by the way, guys. Earnings are very tricky, right? And we get it right, and then we lose money just because of IV. No, that's just not right. So no, we're gonna do 2 week out minimum from now on. So like this is gonna be the new norm, right? So any earnings play that I will include will be at least 2 weeks out, so we can very comfortably buy, whatever you want. Lift and Upstart too high IV now. Yeah, yes, Ken, they're pretty damn high, right? Like we saw here a firm at, look at this IV 130%, right? That's no good. Ash, what IV percent do you recommend good to get into? Well, I mean, like less than 50, right? So definitely less than 50, but it depends, right? Like every stock is different. So the SPX, for example, 20% IV is extremely high. You get 20% IV on SPX on the FMOC days, on CPI days and stuff like that. This is where you see like very high IV on the SPX. You're not gonna get 130% on SPX, right? So it depends from stock to stock, but the more expensive and high volume and liquid the stock is, you're not gonna get like very high IV. But for the most part, things like this, right? So Affirm, Upstart, everything we've been playing lately, pretty much. Yeah, I would say like if you can get in below 50, that'd be absolutely perfect, right? Hell, like even if your stock goes down just because of the IV going up, right? That will still kind of make up for your losses. Sometimes I will be like in calls and the market overall is going down before my earnings play, and the IV going up makes up for how the stock is going down. Even though I'm in calls, I'm still like a little bit green or maybe only a little bit red, right? So no, it's to me, it's definitely worth it. Now, if you are holding it in the right direction, man, you're gonna make a lot of money because you got Delta and also you got IV on your side, so you're gonna be making a shit ton of money. And in that case, it would not be a bad idea to sell before the earnings. Sometimes you make 100, 200% just holding towards the earning, and when that happens, I'm like, screw it. I don't care what the earnings does. I just take my money and run away, right? Ken says 2 weeks sounds very good. I agree. Excellent. We're on the same page. He also says, I watch your watch list every day, bro. Thank you, my friend. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you've been making some money through it. Apron thought about buying puts Friday. So I'm working on another watch list for penny stocks because for you guys who don't know, I have a penny stocks brand, right? It's like website, Twitter account, everything, YouTube, and all that good stuff. And I'm gonna be live streaming penny stock stuff very soon as well. That's a separate thing. But the problem is that I cannot post penny stocks on Twitter, right? And Apron is sort of kind of small cap right now. So sorry, on Reddit. Wall Street bets, they won't allow me. They won't allow me, right? They like it's just like it gets removed, right? So they're very touchy feely about it. Same thing with r/options, which is usually where I post. So they don't really allow these small cap and penny stock plays. So I can't really post about them. But Apron, I've been following Apron for a very long time. I'll be posting my Apron play today, right? I thought they got rid of the rule for penny stocks. Dude, they doubled down on it. I'm guessing you're talking about Wall Street bets. No, they doubled down on it. Today, I posted VIX. Goddamn VIX, right? If you look at my watch list, you will see you will see a little black paint over it. It just read TVC. And the moment they saw TVC, they just like deleted the whole post. They're like, no, you can't post that. TVC is a small cap, right? And it was about the VIX. No, they're super nuts about it. And I keep posting, reposting a million times before I can get it to stick. So in order for me to get banned and all that stuff, I was like, screw it, right? But for those of you who like small caps, because I love small caps, right? I'm gonna do a challenge for small caps on the other brand on penny stocks today. For those of you who don't know it, this is it. I posted it. I told people from before know about it, but I'm just gonna post it here again, just so you guys I can see penny stocks today. Hold on. Not penny stock, penny stocks. There you go. We're the first one. Number one. There you go. So this is it. And I'll be posting a lot of plays on it. Like we're already posted, of course. Like we have almost 7,000 followers. We've been posting for a while. So like we have alerts, we got everything, YouTube, all that stuff. I do videos there for small caps for those who are interested. I'm just gonna post this here on the Discord for people who want to join in. But yeah, I'll be posting. Like I think we have AMC on there, Apron, Palantir, a lot of stuff that I can post, in other places. It goes all on there, so it's gonna be very, very exciting. We had like a lot of very nice plays today, so just something to keep in mind for those of you who are interested. Let's see. I don't know, man. They seem to be beaten and done. Well, puts then, right? Like again, I'm not gonna like you guys are gonna have to go there and see the plays. But like, so what? Let them be beaten and done. Let's get puts on them, right? But I agree for the most part. Yeah, the business model for Apron is pretty much a failure, honestly. Like it's very hard. I think they provide a fantastic service, but it's extremely it's not profitable. It cannot be profitable, and they're really failing there. So this is a big problem for them. All right. So Jeff says, sorry, Ken, not replying yet to your comment. Oh, okay. Yeah, he was all right, a little mix up there. Sizian says, might try some straddles on Tesla this week, volatile as it is. Yeah, I mean, like, just keep in mind, the possible factory shutdown, because if that news comes out, so far I haven't seen anything about it. But if it comes out, again, remember, like, Elon is on and China's government crosshairs now, right? So if we look at this chart, like, I mean, like the 1-day chart tells all, right? We'll break this area here, dude. We're heading for a very bad fall down, right? I don't think personally will happen unless we get bad news about the Chinese factory, which is Chinese factory. This goes down. But my expectations is no. I think as long as we keep holding this level here, I think we just bounce back and keep channeling here for a while. These are my expectations. So we're going to have to wait and see. There's also another possibility. I've seen people talk about this, that, hold on, this is not clear, but this is a possible bear flag, and it is playing out right now. So the idea here, this is the pole, right? The idea here is that this is the pole, right? And this was the flag, right? And now it's playing out. So it's going to keep falling down more. Very possible, right? So Tesla has a lot of bearish things, going on for it right now. Again, earnings were not the best. Like we all know, earnings were not the best. Delivery numbers, for the first time, we're seeing a slowdown in demand. So, but Tesla, I would say play by feel for now. Like for now, just, play it as they come. So we're going to have to wait and see. Jeff says, come on, Spy Moon. Are you in calls, man? If you're in calls, yeah, I mean, like futures are all over the place here, right? But for the most part, going down for the last 2 hours, does not seem like we're gonna see the bull flag play out here. This is definitely not looking like a bull flag at all. But we are right on support. So if this support does not hold, we're probably gonna see a big candle down here to the next level. So just keep that in mind. If you're in SPX or something like that, calls, this is kind of a risky place to be, or in your futures. Crypto Panda saying just follow on Twitter and activated notifications. Thank you, kind sir. Thank you. And yeah, today we'll be posting like a similar weekly watch list style thing, but we're gonna be posting it on penny stocks today, and we'll have all these other plays because there's a very, very good small caps play that I cannot include. So I don't see a reason why they should go to waste. Jeff says, yep. Okay, cool. So I think we covered all the questions. So all right. So back to our earnings. Okay, so Affirm, yeah, like I said, I'm bullish on it, and I really hope it does turn out to be bullish, because again, Upstart and Affirm will be two fantastic big runners if they do beat for a while. So that will be definitely very nice to see. All right, Disney, I don't understand it. Okay, so the flow was super bullish, and I see a lot of bullish sentiment, but my gut my gut feeling tells me that I don't get it. If Netflix subscribers are going up, they must be taking market share from Disney and Hulu and all these other players, right? So, right? Because it's a zero sum game. If you're going up, someone else is going down, right? So, I really I don't know. Like, so Netflix goes up, Disney, their movies has not been doing very well. I don't remember the last time. I never missed a Marvel movie before. I don't watch the shows. I don't really like them. I feel a lot of people have not been watching them. It seems to me that they've been going downwards with the movies, with the with everything. I don't know. Like, has anyone subscribed to Disney Plus in the last 3 months? If anyone here has subscribed, let me know. I was going to, I wanted to, but then like I was like, what the hell am I gonna watch? Like, I don't like the new shows that they have. I don't like the direction that they're taking. So, and on the 1st of November, almost a week ago, they shut down because again the zero COVID thing. They shut down the Disney China thing that they had, right? One of the parks. So again, like I feel like these things are gonna affect earnings, right? Because what else do they have? They have the streaming service, and this is where they're really focused right now. They're doubling down, quadrupling down, and then they also have the like the what you call it, the parks, right? These are their main earners, and I feel like they took a hit on both of them. But the flow looks pretty damn bullish. Like, look at this, guys. Just like, it doesn't make sense to me. Again, I would love input from you guys. If anyone here has an idea about Disney, I don't know what I'm missing exactly. Like, and even if you go like on Twitter and on Reddit and everyone else, everyone seems to be pretty damn bullish on it. I don't know why. Look at this, biggest open interest, right? Like, these looks here, it looks like it's bouncing out, but it's really not, right? The lowest open interest is bearish here at 600 contracts, pales in comparison to goddamn 10,600 open interest contracts for the 18th of November. These people are 100% just playing the earnings, right? Overwhelmingly bullish. The second biggest one is the 11th of November, which is kind of split, but still more towards the bulls. And then after that, at 2,000 contracts, 65% people playing or played the 4th of November, right? So that's something that's done here. So all right. So Blake says new Star Wars doing really well. Star Wars Andor. Also, how would you rank the earnings watchlist in terms of your confidence for this week? Oh yeah, the guy from Rogue One was probably the best Star Wars movie. I'll check it out. I'll check it out too. I missed that. Yeah, but okay, but the question becomes is that, like, do you guys think like Star Wars alone will just push it up, right? I feel like, I don't know, I feel like a lot of money was poured into the Marvel shows and the Marvel movies, and those have not been doing so hot. Like, again, the idea at the end of the day is like, is it enough for it to get a push to move up, or like in subscribers, right? Because that's the name of the game at the end of the day, right? So but hey, it makes sense. It's a possibility. It makes sense. All right, so another wick here, right? We've seen this, and another wick here on the support on the futures, right? It seems like this support has been holding for now. This is the second retest. Let's see if it goes for a third and final one or not. This does seem pretty telling though. Like, this candle closes in almost 1 minute, and we see towards the end of the candle a really big push up. I don't know, this seems a bit bullish to me, but we'll see, right? We'll see. We're waiting and see. So Danielle Hussein is asking, how would you rank earnings watch list in terms of your confidence for this week? All right, so okay, so let's see here. Roblox, what the hell did I have Roku again? All right, so this was a mistake. No Roku. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, so AstraZeneca, I would say high confidence, because it doesn't have a big move up, but only 5.2%, and for good reason, because the reason why everyone is confident in this, and I'm confident in this, because every major pharma company out there pretty much has almost like neck to neck earnings. They all beat pretty much equally, right? So it does seem like this one will also beat too. So yeah, I mean, like, it's not worth the risk at 5% implied move. Honestly, like, it's not worth the risk at all. Like, on the slight chance that you're wrong, like you don't stand to make much, but it's safe. IV will probably not be, overly crazy. So that's, but like, yeah, I would say like high confidence here that this will probably be right. All right. So Roblox also like decent confidence here on this one. They just like it's not a Carvana situation where it's just like it's pretty damn bad. But yeah, Roblox kind of doesn't have much to the upside for it. Like if you think about it as a company, what have they been innovating, right? What do they have that's going on for them, right? Where is the revolution coming from, right? This thing got pumped up way too much, way too much, right? Look at this here. Hold on, I have Roblox already down here. Roblox. Like look at this before earnings, just huge just sell off, right? Come on, like this is pretty damn telling if you ask me, right? Like this is, look at this, like look, I don't know, H pattern here for meg looks pretty damn bearish to me. Today alone is down 1% after already being down 6%, right? On Friday. Yeah, this does not look to me like a company that has anything going on for it. And yeah, look, again, Sizian pretty much summed it up here. The revenue is from kids begging their parents for Roblox. With inflation, it's going down. I 100% agree, right? Not just that. Kids have the worst attention span in the universe, right? They're always looking for the next shiny thing, okay? So they're going to play Roblox for a while. But after that, whoever is on YouTube Kids, like shilling the next new game, they're just going to move over, right? Like, I don't know, Roblox, like, I don't see kids playing it this like a lot anymore, right? Like it was a trend, it was a fad, and it's gone, right? Like I don't see it really like staying on for a while. And again, it's really confirmed here by, look at this, the past earnings. It's just like it went up, right? And ever since then, just like absolutely dying off, right? Like bad earning. They never had a good earning since inception. Right? Since inception, it's bad earning after bad earning after bad earning. And you're going to have to ask yourself, unless they have a new game or something new or something revolutionary, is this company really going to stick around for long? Like, this would be the $1 million question, right? Like, what do they have that's like that will keep them going on? Like, estimated revenue is 692 million, right? Like this is not a ginormous amount. Like look at this, when it first started, estimates were like what, 573 million. Again, like 684, 618, right? 770. This was the highest probably they had, back down to 650, right? And here 600. It's in the same range, right? People are not expecting the company to grow year over year, month over month, right? It's people are expecting it to stay where it is, right? So I don't know, like I'm not really seeing, unless they announce a new game or something crazy, I'm not really seeing like how this beats. And if you go here, right, let's have a look at the flow, right? So I mean, obviously this is to be expected. Look at this, just like pretty damn bearish, right? So but we look at the options chain here, look at that. That's goddamn ugly. That's what it is. Like pretty much across the board, right? And not many contracts, by the way, but like across the board, top 5 options chain by volume have super bearish. Look at this. I don't know. Like you guys have eyes. You can see this by yourself. Look at this. It's just ugly, right? Just like absolutely ugly, right? Open interest and by volume both. Like I don't know. This does not, inspire confidence at all. Everyone and their mother is just like bearish on this thing. So, and for good reason. So I would say, yeah, I am definitely confident in Rob. Not definitely. There's no definite in this market. The slightest thing could ruin earnings for you, right? They could come out just for the fuck of it, and this sometimes happens. CEOs do that just so they don't get so they don't get like fired or whatever, right? They kind of put like unreasonably high guidance. So this might save them, but I don't see it. Affirm, I'm also confident on that. So I would say Roblox, AstraZeneca, and Affirm I like. Lyft and Disney, I don't know. Disney, like the flow is telling, right? Like you guys saw it yourself. Like it really makes sense that like they beat because like again the flow is pretty much painting a direct picture. And hey, like it's like you guys said, Star Wars thing that could have gave them like a big pump in the numbers. I don't know, like I don't know what like I don't have access to data that can tell me stuff like that. Like analysts do, so maybe that's the reason why they're bullish on it, but I don't know. So that will be ranking though for my confidence in these plays, and hopefully I'm right. I hope I'm right. All right. So bookmap is showing a lot of liquidity at 302 on the ES equals SPY at 300. Sorry, at 380.25. Let's have a look at that level here. So what's at 3,820? Well, I mean, that would make sense, right? Because does anyone know how to make the stupid rectangle thing on trading view? I keep trying to figure it out, but I couldn't. I want to draw like a supply zone here. How the hell does that thing work? Patterns. Oh, there you go. Okay, so look at this here. So this here will be a supply zone, right? That's 3,920, right? So let's look at the one that you were talking about here. Right, so that will also be a supply zone here. So it will make sense that if you look at bookmap, you would see a lot of liquidity here, right? It would absolutely make perfect sense because this definitely could be a supply zone here. Okay, so hold on, let me see if I can turn on the volume bar. Yeah, see, I'm done. So this, yeah, I can definitely see that will be a lot of liquidity here. It would make absolute sense. Ken is asking 4.5 November 11th for what? Which one? Season saying closer to the money if you can, but I ready to play out of the money, so up to you. Just generally, without knowing specifically what Ken's talking about, I just agree in general. Always like, like as close to at the money is my favorite play. I only play out of the money when I'm forced to play out of the money. I play out of the money because my account is small, I don't have a lot of money, and I have high confidence in the play, so I play it. But out of the money will screw you in so many ways. The you want to get as close to the money as humanly possible, as much as you can, right? In an ideal universe where you have like a huge, like account, and you want to play it even safer, get slightly in the money. I'm not gonna lie, like you have everything to gain and nothing to lose by being at the money or even slightly in the money, right? But the only thing you lose is the ability to buy more, right? So this is the only reason why, like, since I started the challenge, like I take out of the money plays is because I'm forced to. Like this is why I always tell you guys, like, God, if you can get something, like better than what I can get, go for it, And this is why for the most part I don't post strikes because I got like you don't need to ask me what strike. The strike is at the money, right? Whatever the price is, I'm getting something at the money right now, right? And to me, it's well worth the money if possible. Cizian says, press 1 if you want Ash to stream till noon. Let's go. I'm not seeing anyone pressing 1. Only Cizian is pressing 1. Thank you, Cizian. You're my brother, man. Here, virtual brofist. There you go. Cause you're the only one who's supporting me, bro. No one here wants us to stream. We're just gonna shut this down, man. It will be me and you. Just both of us, streaming. There you go. Yeah, virtual fist bump. Thank you, bro. Thank you, Ken. Thank you, guys. All right. So Ken is asking, what if I go for December 2nd puts on Roblox and out of the money? Again, not the worst idea in the universe. But at the end of the day, I would not advocate out of the money. December 2 puts, I don't know why you would go out that far. Okay, so let's say the market runs now. Okay, just think about it this way. What if the market runs now, right? So your puts will be, like absolutely crushed, right? Like Roblox will move with the market. So it will die off because of earnings, and then the market runs and it will keep pushing it up. Worst case scenario, it will stay where it is. If not, pushes it up, right? So if you're just playing the earnings, then just play the earnings. Don't go that far out, right? Like it will not save you from IV crush. It will not save you from anything. So you have like this puts you at a disadvantage, not an advantage. So I don't think there's a reason for you to go that far out, right? So I would use that money that to get the more expensive like option. I would use that money to buy something that's closer to the money rather than going out with time, right? So I would get a better strike than getting a better expiry. That's what I think. All right, so Jeff says I bought 4 and ASTS on Friday. 4 and ASTS. I'm not familiar with either. I'm not gonna lie. Someone on Reddit, and it might be you, Jeff. Someone on Reddit on every watch list I post asks about ASTS, and I'm guessing it's you. I think it's you because like every watch list is like ASTS. This seems like something I'll cover on penny stocks today. I'm covering it for you, buddy. I'm definitely covering it for you. Yeah, check it on the penny stocks watch list, but consider it done. I'll definitely analyze it and we'll put it on the watch list. Consider it done, buddy. All right, so let's see what else here. Sizian says IV is lower for those safer bet. Well, it makes sense. If the IV is lower, I'll definitely go for something with low IV, right? Ken says I don't want to get wrecked on IV for a firm and upstart. Is it still worth starting a position? It's not that it's unsafe, but it's also not safe. You know what I mean? It's a risk. Like it's the risk. Look, a firm upstart could be a fantastic play, but you know what I know will 100% exist in the next coming weeks? A million more opportunities. If you're not feeling so hot about these, if you're super worried, if it's money that you cannot risk, dude, don't get into it. I know this much. I don't know if a firm will beat, because we could be wrong, by the way. Like you could lose this money anyway, not because of Ivy Crush, just because we were wrong, right? So, but what I can 100% assure you will happen is that there'll be a shit ton more opportunities next week and the week after and the week after, right? Dude, this week we have CPI, right? This is one of the biggest opportunities in the market, right? Like, come on, remember CPI days? These just go absolutely nuts, right? So, no, like if IB is high, you're not feeling so hot on it, you don't really like it, dude, just ignore it, right? Screw it. Like, come on, we have a lot more plays. Next week, I'm gonna put out even better plays with more time, earnings and non-earnings, right? So, if you're not feeling it, don't risk it, man. We're gonna come up with plays. Hell, during this stream itself, we're gonna be looking at the market. We're gonna be taking plays live, so don't force it. Danielle is saying, what's the save IB pet to take positions with? Like I said, ideally below 50% if it's close to earnings. Generally 20-30%, something like that would be fine, except SPX close. SPX 20% is this is the equivalent of 150%, so I would not do anything more than that. All right. Angelique says, feel neglected. Why do you feel neglected? Because you didn't press 1. Angelique, see, if you would have pressed 1 with us, you would have been part of the team. I'm kidding. Hey, you're the earnings queen, remember? Now, how can you feel neglected? We all love you here. Thank you, Angelique. Crypto Panda also, Brofist. Thank you. Okay, Jeff. Selling calls December on Roblox spread. All right, that's also not a bad idea. See, this is what again, once the account grows, these are the kind of plays I would love for us to start doing, is selling contracts. Selling contracts is one of the safest and best ways to make money, depending on the type of underlying asset. Like, I would not sell calls or puts on Roblox because I personally do not want to own Roblox, right? Because what if you end up getting assigned, right? This is the risk that you run, right? So when you sell a contract, someone on the other side can exercise that contract, right? And in that case, you have to you get their shares, right? So I don't want anyone's shares, right? So not be selling calls or selling puts. I don't want like for Roblox, right? So I would happily do that on AMD or Tesla because I love AMD or Tesla, right? So like these are good stocks that I don't mind owning, but like Carvana, for example, I would never touch I hate Carvana, right? I think it's destined to go to zero, so it's a big no-no for me. But like I would love for us to get into these plays sooner. Till then, like I would follow Angelique. She does these kind of plays a lot, and she's good at them. So I would look into those. Ken is saying, thanks, Ash. I probably sit out this week. I'm hyped for next list. I know you do plays even live stream. So just don't forget to post them on the watch list. I'm usually busy as work. Sorry about that. Nah, dude. I'm sorry about that. And yeah, like we can take you can take still CPI plays, or you can take some of the watch list plays. These don't have like high IV. I would not, by the way, even without the high IV, I would not just play earnings, right? Earnings is just like it's like the lottery, right? So we try to give ourselves an edge, but at the end of the day, it's like ridiculously risky and scary, right? This tiniest thing just screws it up. So I wouldn't like. I would try to diversify by playing different things. Check the watch list. There's we have like I think 3 or 4. We have Tesla long, AMD long, and short. So you can take either and VIX long. And we'll come up with more stuff. So yeah, Angelique says Roblox could be up. They are gaining customers. But I would be surprised if they gain customers. I'm not gonna lie. At least not enough to justify this increase in revenue, right? Like look at the increase in revenue they're expecting this quarter. Where is it? Where is this Roblox? Doesn't even want to show up. It's afraid. It's afraid to be shorted. It's hiding. There you go. Yeah. So last quarter they were expecting $638 million, right? And they only got 591. This quarter they're expecting 692. So they are accounting for increased subscribers, right? And taking that into account, they're expecting this much. I don't think they're gonna gain that much people. I think it's gonna be a bigger miss. I could be 100% wrong. I don't know, but like the flow, like I don't know, it really speaks for itself here. And based on what I know, does not really seem like something I would like be bullish on. But I don't know. I don't know. Earnings, right? Earnings. You never really know. We just do our best. Uh, Angelique says, I hate Carvana. We all do. We all do. Crypto Panda says, Ash, I always noticed you are scrolling up or down looking for stocks that are already on your watch list. One way to find them is click on the screen and start typing the name of the stock to find it out. All right, let's give this a shot. So click on the screen. Yeah, but then when I do this, right? So if I do this, like let's say example here, Roblox, right? And I already have you on my. What are you doing? Okay, let's see. Click on the screen. Tesla. Crypto, you're a genius. You're a goddamn genius, man. Thank you. I did not know this trick. I did not know this hack. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very, very much. This guy is good, guys. This guy's good. All right. So, okay, after this very cool hack that we discovered, things are gonna be much easier for us. But let's have a quick look at the SPY here, see what it's doing. Still up 0.4%. Let's have a quick look at the macro actually here. That's an ugly chart. Yes, thank you, Brofist. Okay, so SPY. Okay, so it stands to reason, and we've had this before. It stands to reason that we might get another possible like big run to our trend line here to the 406, 407. If SPY is good, right? If SPY numbers cool off, they don't come in as hot as people expect them to. Actually, people expect them to cool off. So also, if you read the watch list, if you went over that, I think we're gonna get good CPI numbers, right? Like, I mean, again, CPI is worse than earnings. You never know, but like, have you seen the analyst numbers? Like the analyst numbers like are lower than the Cleveland Fed estimates, right? So we always like Cleveland Fed is always like pretty much hawkish, right? And they had like what 8.1. So last was 8.2. They're expecting 8.1. Analysts are expecting 7.9, right? Dude, if we get that, that would be absolutely crazy. We have not seen below 8 for the longest time. We've not seen below 8 since February 2022. For like what, like 7 months, more than 7 months. We're like almost 10 months now, right? 10, 9 months. We have not seen a read below 8%. That would be just like absolutely crazy if we get that. And come on, like given the past few days, it feels like the market is just finding an excuse to run, right? Like, does this not remind you of this here, right? Like, remember these days before we had the big run? Does this not remind you of that? Like, and by the way, remember what we said last time? Like, even though we were in puts, and yeah, like again, technically, from a structural standpoint, from a purely technical standpoint, guys, look at this. This here. This is higher low, higher low, still higher low. By the way, this is still a higher low. Technically, we're still in a bullish trend. Technically, this is still happening, right? For all intents and purposes, we technically still are in a bullish trend. Nothing really changed here, right? Even though we went down a lot, but still. And this trend can still be saved if we have good CPI and we can still get this move up here, right? So like remember Friday, or I think Friday or Thursday, I don't remember which stream, but like I said that I'm like, guys, we technically are, despite the big drop, we technically are still on a bullish trend, right? This did not change, right? Nothing changed here. So it is not too late for us just to keep, pushing forward and keep going higher, right? Of course, if we break this level here, yeah, I mean, like, game over, that's done, right? So from a technical standpoint, we're just gonna keep dying some more. Like, there's nothing you can do about it, right? So but for the time being, technically speaking, this is a bullish 1 hour chart, right? Like, technically speaking, on the 1 day, this is, again, you can see it even better here. This is a still bullish chart. Of course, you can argue that, hey, bear flag, possible. I'm not saying no. I'm just saying that we can see a repetition of this, right? Where we just keep hitting, this trend line has been around like since December 21, right? Like, this is a almost year-long trend line from all the way to the top, all the way to the bottom. We keep testing this. Right? And it's an eventuality that we test this again, because overall the market does tend to go up, and this will be over sooner or later. So it is an eventuality that we go test this up again. The question is when, right? And if you look at the structure here, right, it does seem like, we're kind of overdue, right, to like, test it right here again one more time. So, and that coincides with so many levels that people are talking about, because we tested probably around the 400 level on the SPY, and around the 4,100-ish on SPX futures, right? So these are levels that everyone has been talking about. So it makes 100% sense for us to go up there and test it now. We get good CPI. We have the midterm elections, right? And we get. By the way, we get below 8 CPI numbers automatically. It's a 50%. It's a 50 point, if not better, FMOC meeting rate hike, right? Like, look at this. We have now an almost 57% chance of getting 50 points and only a 43% chance of getting 75, right? So the markets, the futures are currently pricing in, right, a higher chance of 50 points than it is pricing a higher chance for another 75. And this will be what, the fifth 75 or the fourth, right? So not looking so hot, right, for the for the 50. So yeah, I mean, like, it seems pretty straightforward here to me, honestly. Like, my feeling is that we get another 50 points, and the reasoning for that is very simple. Like, there's this image, right, that I hope you guys may have seen, and it's for the Moody, like I said before, it's the Moody Analytics chart, and 60% the supply chain issues that, yeah, fine, we might not be able to resolve that. But on the other hand, we have demand side actually kind of getting to where we want it to be, right? So there is a lot of these. I don't know if you guys follow them. There's a lot of these like car wholesale sale and all this stuff, Twitter influencers and all that stuff, and like they're getting like absolutely decimated, right? They've been seeing people pulling back bids, things going backwards instead of going forwards. So like it does, like I feel like we're seeing demand softening here a little bit, right? A lot of people again, for real estate, trying to again like go with lower numbers here, and even then like they're still not getting anything. So it does feel to me like whatever the Fed is doing, like think about it. Would you go right now with these like insane mortgage rates, would you go out there right now and buy a car or a house? I don't know. I think you'd be fucking crazy to do that. Do you want to get locked in with these rates right now? I would say no. I know I don't want to be like, come on, like these are like insanely high rates. Why are all the banks and SoFi and all these people beating? It's because of the crazy high interest rates, right? Like, do you want to be locked in for 20 years and with these rates? Fuck no. This is just like absolutely nuts, right? And what happens when you can't afford like a mortgage for your car or your house or any consumer durable like that lives with you for a durable by definition is a consumer product that is lives with you more than 3 years, right? So like a TV, all that stuff, right? These are things that people get loans for, right? And I know I am, and the majority of people are not gonna go out and get a loan right now. So with these rates, they're just gonna wait it out, right? Probably not for long, right? But they're just gonna wait it out. So I don't know. This tells me demand is gonna die off, right? And once demand starts dying off for these things, we're gonna see the 30% that is demand driven. We're gonna see it to start, trending down, start going down a little bit here. So, this I think we're gonna have good CPI number, guys. Again, these are all guesses, right? Educated guesses, but guesses nonetheless. The Fed has a mind of its own. The market has an even worse mind of its own. So, I can't really guess anything. So now that we have our new updated daylight savings time, uh let's go here and prepare, because the market is gonna open in 3 minutes. So we're gonna need to be ready to buy things. All right, so 5 minute chart on the futures looks slightly bullish. Okay, so we're firmly above here this support line, the 3786.5 support. We seem to have reclaimed the 21 MA, which is good. A little bit struggling with the 50 MA. If we are able to break through this, that's pretty damn bullish, right? So in that case, the next level of a very obvious resistance here will be the 3805 to the penny, which is going to be pretty damn interesting, right? All right. So Angelique says, Sizian says, first, if I'm going to straddle Roblox, is it better to get into today or tomorrow? The sooner the better, obviously. Like you wanna get in. Like again, iView is only gonna get worse, so the sooner the better. Angelique is saying, please confirm strike when making trade. Obviously, of course. Don't worry about that. Crypto Panda, but like again, like I said, get closer as close to the money as possible. When I buy strikes, I buy what I can afford. But ideally, if I was trading properly in my own account, I would be buying stuff that is very close to the money. So I would recommend buying even closer to the money than what I buy. You will just end up making more money than I do. Crypto Panda says the IV looks a little high though. Yeah, this is what we're talking about. High IV. I'll have a quick look at VIX before we start here, because again, this is one of the main culprits for a lot of confusion today. So VIX, yeah, VIX. Look at this. It's really just like holding this curve up here, refusing to do anything. Not going up, not going down, just hanging around here. Yeah. And I think it's, for some reason, it really loves this. Yeah, this level here, the 25.3. Yeah, VIX at the moment is in love with the 20 VIX.3. It's not really doing much. Cizian saying Apple is recovering a bit. Okay, interesting. Let's see. Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, a bit, maybe. Like it's stuck at the 200 MA. And we discussed this before, on Friday and on Thursday, and before again the 200 MA on the 5 minute chart for the time being has been ridiculously hard for Apple to break for some reason. It does seem like it's starting to bottom out here a little bit, which could be good for the market, right? But it really needs to start reclaiming the 200 MA and start making moves up, serious moves up, or it's going to be a pretty hard time for Apple here. So market is open. Finally, we got it right this time. And let's see what the SPY is doing here. Again, levels did not change so far, so we still have the same pre-market high and yesterday's high, same level here, 378.9. This is going to be our bullish trigger for calls, and of course we have 375.3, which is the pre-market low, which is our bearish trigger for puts, with the next target being 370, right, which below that is extremely bearish case, right? So let's see, SPY going up and VIX still not doing anything, does not seem to care, does not seem to give flying rat's ass about what's going on in the market. It's just like doubling down on the favorite lovely 25.3 level for some reason. So it's gonna be very interesting to see what happens today, right? How will this unfold? Extremely, extremely interesting. Still, yes, SPY strong open, but not really giving us direction one way or the other. Let's have a look at the volume here. Obviously, like it's too early to tell, like the market just opened, but we're always very interested in volume and comparing it to previous opens, right? So like you can very easily tell that this open had a much better and stronger volume than this day here. And what happened here? This one had stronger volume, so the move was sustained, right? And kind of staying where it was. This one had weak volume. What happened? Weak volume means weak run and absolute death afterwards, right? So volume is important. Volume precedes price. Everyone knows that, right? So it is important for us to compare, volumes, opening volumes every day. So, all right. So still messing around with the 21 MA. That's going to be something here. Big wick, no price acceptance at all, towards the 378 or the 379 level, if you will. Look at Microsoft flying. Ooh, Microsoft flying. All right, so we're gonna make a round now. 0.7%. Indeed it is. Look at this nice big candles here. Microsoft has been pretty much like neither here nor there before the open, right? Just like seems to just be floating around. But yeah, looks like a pretty explosive opening here. Seems to have a little bit of trouble breaking through the pre-market high. And if it fails, by the way, if it fails to break through the pre-market high, this is gonna turn very bearish very quickly. But so far it looks nice and bullish here. It looks very nice and bullish. Netflix not looking so hot, down 1%. Ooh, Meta. Why the hell is Meta up 4%? We've been seeing these weird, like pumps on Meta lately, right? My best guess here, honestly, is I think people are just like, hey, this is the worst it's gonna get. This is the bottom for Meta here, right? Like shit company as it may be, people will be buying it out. I think Meta is a fantastic play for 5 years or 10 years in the future, right? So I think people are looking at Meta and like, hey, this is as worse as it's gonna get, right? Might be time to buy a few here, right? Because you seem to be getting this curve here, so this does look like something is bottoming out. We're just gonna have to wait and see and find out. But lately we've been getting these 4% a days on Meta, which is pretty damn interesting. Angelique says Meta lays off peeps. That's not a bad thing in this recession and climate. Honestly, one of the biggest killer of businesses is wages. Recurring cost, and a lot of them don't really like produce. You want to be looking on like specific things when it comes to wages, like Apple down 1.4% almost. This is not good. You want to be looking at earnings per employee, right? Because this is going to be pretty damn useful to you to decide, like, whether the company has too much people or not, right? So Meta has a very high earnings per employee, and now it's going to be higher if they lay off people. Jacob says Tesla big red candle, damn. And Cesium made 20% on Tesla. Let's fucking go. Good shit, my man. Nothing better than making money right at the market open. Just gives you like a nice ego and confidence boost, throughout the whole day. I love it. Like, no better feeling, honestly. I'm not definitely advocating just taking stuff right off the bat unless like you're super confident, right? Okay. Yeah, wow, that is, look at that volume candle right there. That is a very big candle, damn. Right? Wow. Still holding that 203 point 0.8 level so far, right? But this is my line in the sand, right? As long as this is held, I might actually go for calls. But if I start to like if I see us lose this, hell no, baby, it's puts time. Remember, like we said, an hour ago almost, right? That all stocks affected by China will have a bad day. And like, look at this. Just scrolling through here, you can very, very clearly see this, right? Apple, bad, right? Everything, Microsoft, Amazon, okay, right? Tesla, bad, Lucid Rivian, okay, right? Again, semiconductors not gonna do so well. Why? They're mostly, again, they're very heavily reliant on China, right? Tessie calls is play at, no, it needs to hold the 203.8 level. It needs to hold this level. So not just like, it needs not just test and bounce. I need to see it like hold, right? So like this will be a hold, right? So test and then go up and then test some more and then go up again. This to me is a hold, right? This here so far, no trigger, right? So critical that it holds this. All right, so let's go back here to the VIX. Is VIX looks like it's slightly going up some more even, right? Which is just absolutely bonkers. Yeah, see, this is what I was talking about. See, we were not having trouble with TradingView at all, right? At all before the open, right? It was just going, smoothly, nicely. But then market opens and it just goes haywire, right? Like their servers cannot handle the load, and it's just like, like for the money that we pay, I think like 40-50 bucks. I have a lot of like features enabled here, and like this is the service I get from them. Like, come on. Look at this. QQQ turning red. SPY almost turning red. VIX just look at it. It's just this big, huge green candle, right? Right? Up 4% almost, right? So this is the diversions we're talking about, right? Like when you see VIX shooting up and you see the SPY shooting up as well, this is an opportunity 9 times out of 10. Like it plays out. Looks like we're starting the gap fill here, right? So yeah, this looks very interesting here. All right, so I'm gonna prepare my options in case, because I think we might be seeing some sort of move here. So I'm just gonna prepare my. Look at this candle, pretty damn ugly, right? But again, nothing unexpected, We expected that with the whole VIX situation. Now that was to be very much expected, right? All right, so I have my SPX loaded up and ready to go in case I find a good play here. So let's see. Tesla dead. Oh, Tesla. Tesla, Tesla, Tesla. Getting very close to that support line over there. What are you buying? Nothing. I'm waiting to see if an opportunity presents itself. But I'm not buying anything yet. Yeah, it looks like trading. Is anyone having problems with TradingView? Is it just me, or just like is TradingView being a piece of shit for everyone else? Like if they can't handle a market open, then I don't know. I don't really see what their point is, honestly. Wow, yeah, look at that. Just went went right for that support right there. Just like went straight for it. Wow, this is very bad for Tesla. And look at the RSI, like super, super, super oversold here, right? Look at that. Wow, 11. That is extremely ugly, right? Ugh. That's even worse than the opening I had last day. This is just like pure selling volume here. Yeah, and again, it makes sense, right? It makes sense. There is a lot of reasons why Tesla could be going down. The China fears that makes so much sense. Elon Musk being in the crosshairs of Chinese government makes sense. His whole meltdown with Twitter and whatever is going on that scares people, that also makes sense. Yeah, there is a million and one reasons to be bearish right now for Tesla. But we still have to wait and see if the 203.8 line holds or not. If it is able to hold, hey, awesome. We're going to go back up again. But if not, yeah, this is going to be a pretty damn bearish day for Tesla. Apple just absolutely losing it. Look at this, 1.8% down. Yeah, Apple rejected hard up to 21 MA. Like, this is what I'm saying. The 200 MA has been a problematic area for Apple for the longest time, right? Look at this huge wick failure rejection, right? Like, Apple really needs to start reclaiming the 200 MA here. This does look a little bit like bottoming activity to me. So it might be bottoming out here or just chopping in this area for some time. But yeah, this is not a good look for Apple in the slightest, right? Like, if it loses the pre-market low here at 135.5, yeah, it's gonna go down a lot. Like, yeah, we have here yesterday's low. So we have these levels here, 135.5, 134.5 as supports for Apple. Apple really needs to start reclaiming 200 MA here, or yeah, it's gonna have a pretty difficult time. Like, every time we see a rejection of 200 MA has been followed by huge drops. Look at this rejection here, big drop all the way for 2 days. Rejection here, huge drop, right? So yeah, we're gonna need to Apple to reclaim it like again, or it's gonna be a pretty bad day for the whole market, not just for Apple, right? So SPY making a little bit of a comeback here, which is nice, I guess. All right, so PayPal looking bullish. Makes sense, right? So you see the discrepancy between the SPY and QQQ. Even though the biggest sector in SPY is tech, which is mostly QQQ, but you have your finance and your what you call it, your healthcare, right? So healthcare is the second biggest sector, and third is finance. So yeah, I would say like healthcare and finance are popping up SPY despite the meltdown in QQQ. So that makes sense, right? Uh, the Hud Ibrahim is saying lift is dumping. All right. So I believe we had puts for lift, right? Yeah. So that's good that it's dumping, right? Excuse me. So yeah, so that's good. The lift is dumping here. That means puts should be printing. I'm not taking puts. I don't. If I am taking something here, it'll probably be towards the end of the day. But if you already went for puts, congratulations. Your puts should be printing. So that is nice. And if you took Disney calls, your calls should be printing. So that's also nice. Hayden says, smoke another one. I was just thinking that. You read my mind. Yeah, I know. Don't smoke, people. It's otherwise you'll look like an idiot like me just sitting here and coughing. Yeah, no, I definitely need. Look at that lift just absolutely dying. Yeah, it looks like people are just getting out before the earnings. Not a lot of trust in there. Okay, so yeah, aerospace looking good, right? Consumer non-durables looking okay. Retail mixed all over the place. Finance looking kinda strong. Affirm when Upstart selling, especially Upstart. That's not a good look. PayPal up a lot. Yeah, 3%. That's definitely something. Square up 4%. Square have fantastic earnings. Okay, so let's see here. Moderna down a little bit here. Healthcare kind of all over the place as well. Neither here nor there. Communication sector, I don't know. You have very sharp risers like Meta and Snap, which have been down a lot before, and then you have your Netflixes, which is down almost like 3%. Sorry, 2.5%. That's not a good look here. Tech, tech looks absolutely ugly. I mean, like, again, this really this really paints a picture here. Twilio down a little bit, DocuQ down, Chop down. Amazon went red, right? Microsoft still holding its own. Apple actually recovering a little bit, despite all this. Tesla ugly, just pure ugly. Semis, oh, look at them, all of them just went red. Yeah, looks like again the VIX was very prophetic. Right here today, it being up so much that made sense. We're still, by the way, like spy wise, like we have not really lost much. So we have here big green candle followed by big red candle. If this plays out, we can start seeing VIX fill the gap here all the way to 24.7. That is still a possibility. And again, SPY is down, but not like horribly down. Remember we opened what, a 0.3, right? So yeah, like SPY is still kind of holding its own here. This is not the worst look for SPY I've ever seen. Given how high VIX is and it's still high, this is kind of bullish, honestly. Carvana halted. Did it go up or go down? Where's Carvana? I might have removed it from my list. Oh, down. I wrote this. I'm so happy that I had this wrote down. I told you guys this is going to be a penny stock. By the way, technical definition of a penny stock is $5, right? Some people say 10. I say it's 10. But hey, like officially, by like all means, everyone, like this is where everyone agrees, $5 or below, penny stock. $2.38 left, and this is officially a penny stock. Shit company. I can't believe this was $400 at some point. $400 for a company that has fucking car vending machines. What the actual fuck? Like, what? Come on. I mean, like, if they saying, not them not being able to handle the paperwork for getting your license plate was not a huge red flag on its own. I don't know what it is. They have nothing going on for it. Horrible management, not a fantastic product. It was a fad and it's dead. And it was a good. Honestly, it's not the worst idea. Like if you think about it, I kind of like the idea, but most people didn't, and it was very impractical and bad management, bad everything. I don't think it will go bankrupt, but that. And by the way, look at the bid and the ask right before it was halted. The bid is a fucking 6. Wow, this is bad. This is very bad. Damn. Man, I wish I was holding still on to this. This is just like crazy. But yeah, no, this is heading to a penny stock. That's true. And by the way, it is a good penny stock. This is where it's supposed to be. I don't think it deserves to be bankrupt. It has an idea that if good management take over, they could do something. They don't deserve to be bankrupt, but they definitely need better management, and they are okay being a penny stock. This is where they should be, right? They're not a big player, Putting them in that category is just like, it's offensive to anyone else who's in that level. They're a fantastic penny stock. They do excellent as a penny stock, right? Because it sets proper expectations, right? Like it is not like you see a $400 stock. I expect a lot from a $400 stock, So, yeah. Let's see. So SPY still not doing much here. It's very much unable to reclaim the 21 MA, which is definitely bearish, nor the 50 MA, right? So, again, it has not pulled any trigger here for me, right? So I'm not executing call or put yet. I'm not seeing anything clear. It's just a little choppy here so far. We're gonna need the market to start making up its mind a little bit here before we take anything. But yeah. Check Nvidia. Yes, ma'am. Let's see what Nvidia is doing. Ugly. You know what? Today might be the day to play QQQ, maybe not SPY, because it looks like tech is just giving up across the board. Calls on Meta, maybe. I don't know. Maybe if it's a technical play. Let's see. does seem to be a little bit up here. Wow, Nvidia just pure selling candles. Again, we like this look, we've been seeing this a lot, like with tech, right? So we keep going through tech and we see this like complete sell-off right at the open, right? Just like pure selling pressure right at the open here. This is just crazy. Hmm. Uh, wow, a firm upstart just absolutely dying. This does not inspire confidence at all. Either this is a fantastic buying opportunity, or yeah, this is not a good look at all. I would, guys, if anyone is thinking about buying a firm or upstart, I would wait before I pull the trigger, right? I wouldn't just go in thinking that, hey, this is a good buying opportunity, right? We're gonna go over them again. We're gonna see how the flow is looking, and we're gonna do some DD on them to see if like calls are still the play here or not. But yeah, this is not very inspiring, to say the least. So let's see here. Dur, 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 dur. Meta, right? We wanted to look at Meta. 3.8% up. Very admirable given how everyone else has been performing, right? It's very, very, very cute to think that Meta is the only reason, is the only like, like beacon of hope in this market. And by the way, it was where like what, 97, almost 96, right? So it was even $2 more. I think it was up 5% at some point. That's just crazy. So calls for Meta. Definitely calls for Meta if it holds the 50 MA and the 21 MA for sure. As long as it's holding these, yeah, Meta just gonna keep going up, up, and up. Just one little thing to keep in mind here. Meta has a gap to fall down here. So just be careful, right? Because it might go down very, very quickly just with the market. The market can just pull it down with it. And if it does, it's gonna go down a lot, right? So just be careful. But so far, holding above 21 MA, 50 MA beautifully. Yeah, I would say here a trigger maybe would be this, right? So it's currently at pre-market high, and it's kind of struggling with it a little bit here. So yeah, I would say clean break of this, right? Maybe consolidation here and then clean break. Yeah, that would give me, yeah, definitely calls for sure. Makes sense. Above 94.6, but needs to hold, right? Because so far we've been getting rejections of the PM high, right? Of the pre-morning high, there's rejection, 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 right? So we're gonna need to see a break through this. And if it fails, the 21 MA, 50 MA, it can be a very nice short all the way to fill the gap, or at least 200 MA, right? So, all right, Apple on the prowl again, down, really wants the 2%. Microsoft still holding its own. Ugh, Tesla. Tesla. I had so much hope for you. So much hope. Tesla lost the 203, 202 now, 2.6% down. Makes sense, again, with all the fears with China stuff. Yeah, it's not crazy. Again, look at it, spiked all the way here to the support line that we're talking about, but yeah, still big wick, big rejection. Looks pretty damn bearish here. Good time to scoop Affirm and upstairs calls. This is what I was just saying, right? I was just saying, be careful, wait for Affirm. We're gonna have to do more DD on them. They could be going just down with the market and people getting out before earnings, but like be pretty careful. Them they selling off like this, not very inspiring. Not very, does not like, I don't know, does not fill me with hope, if you will. Uh, Carvana halted again, up this time. All right, this I want to see. What you got here for me, turd? What? They just halted it on this little candle here. That's barely like 1%. Man, crazy, 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 crazy. Anyway, Ken, where we answer Ken Angelique says SPY is only up because of BA. I wouldn't say only BA, right? Don't forget the second biggest sector in the SPY is healthcare, right? So it's not finance, it's not aerospace, it's healthcare, right? And healthcare is doing kind of okay actually, right? So Eli Lilly up 1%, Johnson and Johnson 0.7%, right? BIB up 0.7%, Sava up 2%, right? Merck down only 0.5. So T-Dog, yeah, who cares? Pfizer, neither here nor there. Moderna neither here nor there, right? So it's not, it's like the second most weighted sector is healthcare, and healthcare is kind of doing okay. The third most weighted sector is finance, and also finance is still doing okay, right? With the exception of Credit Suisse, which is a third, honestly, right? That's not so bad, right? That's not so bad here, right? Like only Credit Suisse, and we all know it's Credit Suisse is a third. It's still green. So the only thing that's pulling SPY down is tech, not vice versa, right? So everything else is doing okay. Tech is the one that's pulling SPY down, right? So that's important distinction here, right? So SPY starting to turn red. That's important. RSI dropping again on Tesla dead. Yeah, Tesla, the China thing is gonna scare people for a while. And Elon also is not really helping, like with all his crazy stuff. I don't do like the Mark Ruffalo thing. I know it's like for PC stuff and all that, and I'm really anti PC here. I don't like that stuff. But honestly, he had words of wisdom in there. He said, "Hand over the reins to someone who does this full time." And honestly, dude, do that, please. Come on, like stop talking to people who make no sense. It seems like you're being vindictive, even though I know you're not. But it seems you're being vindictive here. It seems you're being petty and childish. People are investing billions with you, if not like hundreds of millions, actual billions, right? So it is not very inspiring for people to be very scared here, worried that he might say something wrong and just see Tesla fall off a cliff, right? So people are preemptively going to get out. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I was just like many bad things happening on for Tesla right now. Like this, I was hoping this would not be the case. I was obviously a little bit bullish on Tesla, but now like we lost that support very quickly. Obviously, no play here, and I really hope we reclaim it at some point today. But no, it looks extremely bearish. Look, we're 201 now. We're gonna get to 200, which if you have a short and if we get to 200, I'll close it there because I think 200 is a very strong psych level for Tesla. That's around like the 600 level, which is like an almost like 2 year low, something like that, or 1 year low. So be very, very careful at the 200 level, right? Which is the 600 pre-split, super psych level for people here. It's equivalent to the 140 that we talked about in Apple or the 100 that we talked about in Amazon. It takes a while for it to break. It's not gonna, immediately break. So just be careful there. AMD, Nvidia, Intel, all pretty damn red. Yeah, so far it's slightly bearish, but really shaping up to be a chop day, which is we don't like that. Like, look at this. It kind of filled the gap here, you know. So we just have to wait and see what's going on. VIX, neither here nor there, still stuck at wherever we left it at since the market opened, right? A big candle up, big candle down, and kind of stuck where it was. So it is so far shaping up to be a pretty sideways day so far. I really hope I'm wrong. I really hope, things spice up here a little bit. We start getting some nice moves. I mean, we're probably going to get like a relief bounce on all of these because they've been red for a while, right? So the RSI is going to need to reset. Probably going to get like a jump up in all these like semis and tech and all these things. So hopefully that breathes some life into the market, maybe even a reversal, fingers crossed. But yeah, look, the RSI is starting here to, go up a little bit. Apple's still between the 1.5 down and 2% down, just like not doing much here. Look at this. Chop, chop, chop. This is not a bull flag, by the way. Sorry, this is not a bear flag. This is nothing. This is just chop. Yeah, this is gonna be very critical for Apple. If anyone like is expecting any bullish calls for Apple anytime soon, it will not be before the 200 MA is reclaimed, because it's been like a pain in the ass for Apple for the longest time, right? So Amazon here down 1%, not looking really good. By the way, Amazon is a fantastic leap buy. If anyone like wants to buy like shares or leaps for like 2 or 3 years ahead or something like that, Amazon is a very, very nice buy here. Like below 100, Amazon like Amazon is still a fantastic, great company. Amazon is for the foreseeable future here to stay. So yeah, lost 200 MA. It just sliced through the 200 MA. Look at that. It's gonna go back and retest it. We know that. We know like 200 MA is just like, it's not one to be sliced through just like that. So it will be retested again. But for now, looks pretty ugly, pretty bearish, right? Look at this. The market just getting some life, breathing into it finally. Microsoft doing fantastically well today, right? Last time we looked at up 0.7, now almost up 1.25%. Microsoft showing like some pretty damn interesting, strength in it, honestly. Uh, Amazon, Angelique says, check Netflix holding puts since Friday. Let's fucking go. Nice. Yeah, Amazon is like, Netflix just like completely dead today. Yeah, down 3%. Let's go. By the way, since you're holding puts, there's a gap down to fill, right? Soon. We're getting very close to the gap down to fill, so that could be something nice. Anel says 357 SPX put. I think you mean 3,500. I don't know. I'm confused. What leaps would you take on Amazon? I'm looking at them right now. I would have to look at the options chain, honestly, and we will look at it in a bit. By the way, this is a bear flag forming here on Amazon. If it does not reclaim the 200 MA, yeah, Amazon is, like looks pretty damn bearish here. Apple going up back to 1.5 here. Tesla, neither here nor there. Again, some life back in the market, but nothing crazy, right? We're not seeing anything huge here. SPY still down. It's almost about to turn green, which in the chart will translate to just chop, chop, chop. Yeah, look at this. Chop, 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 chop. This is just like, this is the last thing you want to see here. I'm thinking of taking Jan 225 calls on Amazon. Not bad. I think it's a little bit far. But I think you can't go wrong with 225 calls, honestly. Just not sure what strike I'm thinking out of the money again, like a lot of calls. Well, see, I would not. Here I would say out of the money makes a little bit of sense, but not too out of the money, right? Since you have a lot of time on your hand, I would not get like way too out of the money, but you can afford to get some out of the money here, right? So we'll look in the options chain in a little bit. Just like, let's see what the SPY does here, because it's going back to test 50 MA and 21 MA. So, but we'll look at the Amazon leaps together here in the options chain. Let's just see what happens here. Look at that. Nice. That is some very, very, very nice big candle here. And yeah, look, it's coinciding with the SPY dropping down like 1%. Yeah, look at it. It looks like it's going to fill the gap here. So it has 200 MA here. If it can cross the 200 MA, we can definitely see a gap fill and a bigger spike on the SPY, right? And we're very close to 200 MA fell. So that's always nice. There you go, right on 200 MA. All right, so 200 MA is 25.12. Gonna be pretty damn interesting to see what the SPY does, right, in correlation, right? So we're at the 200 MA, so we can expect maybe a sharp drop in the SPY or just a drop on the SPY if the VIX bounces off 200 MA for a retest. Let's see. Once Trading View decides to bless us and start working again. Come on, shit, Trading View. There you go. Okay, so yeah, VIX 25.11 still. SPY, and it's very funny, right? Because VIX is at 200 MA at the same time SPY is at the 50 MA, 21 MA, right? So you have this again kind of confluence, right? So if SPY breaks through that, that means VIX will also break through that, and vice versa, right? So it's always neat to see these kind of things. Kind of confirms, like your plays, right? Gives you more confidence on what's going on here. So yeah, judging by also like the gap to fill on the VIX, we can probably see at least the SPY. If the VIX breaks through that, we can see the SPY filling, going at least all the way up to the pre-market high, probably here, right? So I guess that would definitely make sense. So let's just adjust the slide a little bit here. More accurate would be, yeah, 278.84 is a lot more accurate here. So yeah, if we're able to break through this here, we can definitely I can definitely see a little play here for the SPY, right? So let's see. It really does look like it wants to break and run up, doesn't it? Very tempted to get like a lotto call here. Let's wait and see if it goes back and tests. There you go. Okay, so pullback is good for us, right? I'm just waiting to see how this pullback does, because the idea is that if it goes below and is able to reclaim again, then I think that will be our trigger to go in for calls. But if not, it'll probably just pull back all the way down here. So, you know, that is another possibility. Yeah, so again, back beneath it. Hmm. All right, so all right, looks like the glitch kind of caught up to me here. So as you can see, your order is not accepted. There's insufficient settled cash in your account to obtain desired position. So it looks like I will be unable to take positions today, which kind of sucks, honestly. Be back to normal tomorrow, so it is what it is. Yeah, that definitely sucks. But no problem. Like I was just saying before, infinite opportunity in the market. So yeah, what we can't get today, we'll get tomorrow. Okay, so the play here is very simple, because this is something I was eyeing, right? So if we get the rejection here, you know, yeah, then puts would be the play, because we just, you know, keep going down. But mainly what I'm looking for here is for us to go back above the 21 MA here. I would take calls and I would close them right around here in this level, the 378.4, like somewhere in this area here between 378.3 and 378.8. That could be a possible play here, right? My guess is that the VIX, you know, will stay around here a little bit and then start filling the gap. So this was the play I wanted to take. But I am unable to take it, and it still has not triggered. So just don't just like absolutely jump in calls right now, right? Or just wait for it to cross the 21 MA, 50 MA. But yeah, that sucks, but it is what it is. All right, so let's see what people are seeing here. Jan 25 calls on Amazon. We'll talk about it 100%. Ash, can you show the setting on the 50 MA? Yeah, it's like we did this before, but like I like to keep it super simple. So the inputs here is length 50, offset 0, right? And method is EMA, right? So just I'm just gonna leave it here for a second, but yeah, it's pretty much those. Okay, so yeah, and it's the same for all of them. So always offset 0, and then length is whatever the MA you want, and yeah, that and EMA. I like EMA. You can use SMA if you like. That works too. I just personally like EMA. All right. So Ash, is this your full-time job? It is. I do trade full-time. I also have, a company that does like a bunch of things. You know, all finance and slash trading related. So we have like a bunch of like news publications. We also have digital agency that handles IR and PR for public companies. So pretty much everything I do is stock market related. But yeah, I definitely do trade full time. Um, any buys yet? Not today. Not today. I don't think I can. There was this glitch which allowed me to like, even though it was a cash account, I could just buy whatever I want as if it was a margin account. Uh, But yeah, it looks like the glitch caught up to me, and yeah, no, like it's saying like cash is not settled, so I'm gonna have to wait till tomorrow for it to settle. So it is what it is, no biggie. Uh, but yeah, no buys for me today. Ken, well, yeah, Big Man does this full time. Thank you, Ken. Crypto says, thank you, Ash. You're welcome, my good friend. All right, so okay, so here is the make or break point for our potential play, right? So the idea here is that yep, it will keep going up here hopefully and hit this 378 level, right? So that's this is the play I wanted to take. So let's see if it takes or not. So again, like if you were going in here, I would place my stop right around here, right around 376.9, right? Just keep a nice stop here. And my take profit would, if you want to be conservative at 378.4, but if not, it will be at 378.8, right? So what play? Well, I mean, it's not a play I took because I couldn't take a play, but SPY calls or SPX calls at the money is a possible play here as long as it holds the 21 MA, 50 MA, which doesn't even look like it's holding it. So yeah, no harm, no foul here, I guess. So yeah, so right around here, would it hit or stop? Yeah, it'll probably be touching or stop here. Yeah, so that will be a no play. So yeah, again, just to repeat, all you have to do is just wait, see what the 21 MA 50 MA does. If it breaks through the 21 MA 50 MA calls, if we keep projecting like this, right? So I would short below this wick here at 376.68. But yeah, so it really sucks watching the market without playing it. Like, I mean, you learn and everything, but like, I don't know. I feel the majority of the fun is like is kind of playing it. It's yeah, screw it. All right, so VIX here, VIX is 25.10, so it's definitely still going down. But yeah, it seems to be stuck here around the 200 MA. So the idea is that if it rejects here and goes down and fills the gap, then we're gonna get a bigger move on the SPY up. So this is why I'm leaning more towards call here right at this point. So we're just gonna have to wait and see. All right, so what else is here? AMD actually starting to turn green. Nvidia starting to turn green. Yeah, semis looks like they made one hell of a comeback. That's nice. Tesla not so much. Apple made a decent comeback also, almost only down 1.2% from almost down 2%. So that's not bad. Amazon decent comeback. Microsoft just beasting today at 1.5%. So that's definitely something. Twilio making up for the horrific 35% down day. Netflix still down. No play for me here either. Healthcare kind of doing again, still okay. That's probably what's holding the market up right now. Firm and Upstart is a good time to look at them right now. So, right, so in days like this, what you really want to be looking at is, are people getting out because it's earnings and they don't want to risk it? Because if they are, fair enough, right? If people are getting out because of earnings and they just don't want to hold through earnings, that's cool, right? That's not bearish or bullish. It's just people who don't want volatility in their portfolio. Can't really blame anyone for that, right? But if it's something else, right? If people are thinking like they're worried about earnings, and in that case, yeah, it's time to rethink, your plays. So we go here, affirm, and let's see what the buys and sells are, right? So, all right, so we're not getting anything above 100K today. Let's lower it down here a bit to 50 and see if we're getting any hits. No, none yet. All right, let's just remove all the filters for the premium and just see what kind of action we're getting here. All right, so honestly, today started off pretty damn bearish. Right, people just like all in puts right on calls. Again, as you can see here, these are pretty small plays: $500, $70, $133. Like, I'm not gonna get my DD from like someone playing like $200 worth of calls or puts. You know what I mean? Like, with all due respects, 'cause I'm one of them. So like, like But like I'm one of the people who are playing $200 or $700. But again, I'm looking here for inside info, right? An edge, someone who knows something, right? So all very small plays here today, very very small here plays today on the flow. We're not really getting anything at all. It's split between bearish and bullish, but we're not really getting much here. And the reason for that is it's $15 stock. You know what I mean? $15 stock, you can just buy or sell shares of this, you know, and anyone can afford them. You don't need the risk of options, right? So you're probably not gonna get much here. So all right, so let's have a look at Twitter and see if anyone is coming up with something firm, right? Any reason, any news, anything happen, any layoffs that would just scare off people like that, right? So let's see here. Firm top price analyst, blah blah blah. Who cares? Firm strike $10. Put price premium 34,500. Okay. All right. So this is all spam, spam, spam. There you go. JP Morgan cuts price target of buy now, pay later lender Affirm from $26 to $30. Huh? What do you mean cuts the PT of $26 from $30, maintains neutral rating, right? So okay, it makes sense that people, you know, are selling because of this, but we're pretty damn far from 26, you know. We're pretty damn far here. You know, we're at 15. Anal says your theoretical SPY call is printing. Let's see what SPY is doing. Oh, 0.5. Okay, look at that. It hit our target. So yeah, we theoretically made money. Hopefully one of you guys made money off that. Like, again, I don't mind if I don't have to make money in everything, but if someone could have used this idea to make money, then let's fucking go, baby. Yeah, it's playing out that way. It's filling the gap. So we can expect, like the VIX to go down some more, fill this gap, and SPY to go up some more because VIX is going down. Be very careful though here when it finally fills the gap at 24.7. I would definitely not be holding any calls at this area, right? Affirm 16C November 11th. You got big balls, Ken. You got big balls. Does look, I mean, yeah, like it makes sense. It's still holding here, which is good. All right, we're still doing our DD. From what I'm seeing here, JP Morgan's, yeah, I mean, like PT cut would definitely take it down a notch. That goes without saying here. Disrupted APS markets, a headwind for a firm, says Jeffries. Cool. Top analysts. Save cash before recessions. Holiday spending, shop it. Cards, cut them. Buy now, pay later, maybe a firm. Yeah, I mean, like that's another reason to be bullish on a firm, right? Is because people will be buying stuff now for the holidays, right? So it's November, October, right? Especially if it's a buy now, buy later, thing. I would see again a firm benefiting from this. So I don't know, man. All right, so Ash analyst would maintain its buy rating, I guess, on a firm. Right, so I would maintain my buy rating on a firm. I'm not seeing anything DD wise to throw us off. Right, the flow does seem to be the same ish. Right, so yeah, highest open interest 10,000 on still the 15 put being sold actually. Contract here, affirm 15p. That's picking up a little bit here. I don't know. The options flow is starting to become a mixed bag. I'm not super happy with like this big sell-off. I get it, it's because the Morgan cut the PT, but still, like, New Egg Commerce firm holdings expand partnership to China. That was 5 days ago. Yeah, who cares? Yeah, I would say if you're gonna take calls for this, I would say at least just wait for this to play off, right? So, once the sell off finishes, then yeah, maybe I'll get into calls. Uh, but I'm not very. I don't know. I don't love the sell off here. Upstart. Look at this. Upstart in a firm. It's like I didn't even change. Look at this. It's like I didn't even change the ticker. It's the copy paste exact same chart. Crazy. Look at this. If you're playing one, you're literally playing the other. No difference. Alright, so Upstart eliminates 140 hourly loan processing positions due to challenging economy. So Tuesday, eliminated 140 hourly positions processing loan applications. Credit services providers said job cuts were due to the challenging economy and lower volume of loans on its platform, according to a filing with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. Upstart shares went down 4.4 in recent afternoon trading. Well, again, this is sort of kind of priced in. Like this is, we knew this coming in. We knew because of their interest rates are high. We're not expecting them to be processing the same number of loans that they were before. We spoke about this. You don't want to get locked in now. With high interest rates, it's not a good look for you. It's scary to get locked in with super high rates when if you just wait for a year or so, you might probably be getting much better rates, right? So, uh, expected revenue is 170 million, right? When last quarter revenue is only we expected 241. So again, expectations have been lowered accordingly. Like this has been taken into consideration that revenue will be lower because the company is not processing as much loans. Makes sense. So I don't know. Opinions on SPY right now. I would say it's still pretty much the same. Like, just wait and see what happens. I would use VIX today very much for the SPY, right? So, uh, again, if you want to enter a call, you're gonna want to see a rejection here on this 200 MA, right? So if you see a rejection on 200 MA on VIX, yeah, I will go in calls because it will just continue filling the gap, right? But if not, if it holds and if it starts going up here, then yeah, this is a problem, and you might see the SPY no longer recover, right? So just again, something to consider here, right? And yes, so VIX 200 MA, yeah, look at this, just keeps going up and down around the 200 MA. Just be patient, wait for it to lose this level here, then yeah, I would jump in SPY's call. It does seem again like you do have good confluence here, so you don't need to keep an eye on the VIX. As long as you were holding the 50 MA, 21 MA here, you're good, right? So this really needs to hold. Again, it was first support, so it was resistance, so breakthrough, going down, testing it again as support, trying to figure out whether it is actually support or still resistance and it needs to go back down. So yeah, I would just keep an eye on this here. uh VIX, if you have noticed, it looks like it's forming some sort of bear flag here. So if it loses the 200 MA, we can definitely see this bear flag, playing out here. That's for sure. So that's a definite possibility here. Tesla 200. Oh my God, that is ugly. That is very, very ugly. Oh, 200.7. Man, that is not a good look for Tesla. That is very, very bad. Look at what you've done, Elon. Look at what you've done. Apple, Microsoft as top holdings. Alabama pension made changes to its position. Oh, okay. Retirement System of Alabama, the administrator of the pension fund for employees of the state of Alabama, loaded up on shares of Tesla and Home Depot during the third quarter of this year, According to Whale Wisdom, according to the website, the fund has added over 500 shares of EV making, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. That seems bullish to me. What's the problem? Tesla, however, reportedly dominated the China International Import Expo that commenced on Saturday in Shanghai, despite its new models on display not yet being available to mainland buyers. Major sale, Rayton RTX, okay. Among top holdings. Looks really good for my pets. Nice. Angelique saying, fuck comments on Friday that Twitter losing massive. I don't know. Like, I feel it more the China thing than it's anything else. As Elon Musk focusing on Twitter, Elon Musk waited for the small price as your pocket unlock real value per key. By the way, like, I'll just say one thing, and this is like, and I'm sure this is how he sold the investors on it, because I've never seen anyone talk about this yet. Tesla, like, the main thing why people think this will go to $3,000 a share or $4,000 a share, and all these crazy targets. It's not because of Teslas themselves. No one gives a fuck about the actual car. It's robo taxis, right? This is where the main money is, and we know that no company, not Google, Google has Waymo, right? So not Google, not Uber, not anyone in the world has more data, right? To optimize their AIs than Tesla. They've been collecting data on this forever, right? Forever, for the longest time, right? So Tesla has more data than everyone combined by 100 to 500x margin, right? No one can even come close to it. It's kind of a done deal. Once Tesla optimizes that, game over, done, it's done. Let's move on, right? So with Twitter, he also has data coming in from the platform itself, right? And it's a private company, right? So he can use this data, like he can use all the big data from Twitter, combine it with the big data from Tesla, and you're just gonna have like an out of the world, like, crazy AI, right? So might be I think this is how he sold people on Twitter, right? Because how else is he gonna sell them on Twitter? Like, no one thinks that Elon Musk is single-handedly just going to step in and make Twitter a better platform, because there's nothing to make better. They need to make money, right? And the only reason why someone like would keep something that bleeding money is for this, right? If you can't see the product, you are the product, right? That's the case, right? Big data game play that will benefit Tesla, probably make maybe another one of his companies, who knows? Just something possible to keep in mind, again, he's an idiot, but I don't think he's that much of an idiot. Like, I don't know, just food for thought, right? Who knows? All right. SPY pulled back heavily, right? So let's see what happened here. Yeah, VIX holding up above the 200 MA is not a good look for it. Again, what I would do here is, if I could take a play, is I would wait for this to break down first, then I would jump into calls. Otherwise, it's put down for me. Ken is asking, can we look at the options chain for Amazon? Yes, sir. We can most definitely look at the options chain for Amazon. Amazon. All right. So let's see here. Options chain. All right, so let's see here. The furthest I have is January 25, just 802 days here. Okay, that's not priced too bad. So one contract will cost you, add the money, will cost you $2,500 for a leap. By the way, like, for a leap, we're talking something like, this is not something you'd normally average down on a lot or stuff like that, but that's not bad at all, right? So what's the most conservative number we can say that Amazon definitely can get to? So I think 100 is, like, I think is very possible, right? For Amazon to reach 100. Like, the idea is that if you're getting in 2025, what do you expect that will happen now and within 3 years from now, right? So do we get a recession and then recover, right? That would definitely be a question. And if we do recover, how much can we recover, right? So I would look at first the charts here, and let's see the daily chart, because that's going to be pretty damn important, right? So when you're making this big of an investment, it's not just something that you just, willy-nilly just pick something off. So let's first look at the chart, and let's see what the charts wants to tell us. Where are you, Amazon? All right, so okay, one day. Okay, so Amazon at 85 or at 80 81, pretty much is gets the levels it hasn't broken since January 19, right? So which is pretty damn low, right? So worst case scenario, if it breaks the 81 or the almost 82 dollar level, we can see it go down to here to 70.7, right? All right, so we see this here also. This looks like a cup, and we sort of see a handle here, an inverse cup and handle, which does seem to be playing out, right? As inverse cup and handle is bearish, so it does seem to be playing out. It's very oversold on the 1 day, right? So that's not a good look for it. I'll probably bounce up on it. I don't think PA for No, I would be shocked if it falls below 15. With the recession, nothing is impossible. But I think like below 15, and you will see people just like mortgaging their houses to just drop money into Amazon, right? Again, the question is like, will Amazon be here 3 years from now? Yes. Will Amazon fall more 3 years from now? Maybe a little bit, because people will not be buying as much, but the main money maker for Amazon is AWS. It's not Amazon itself, right? It's not Amazon Prime, it's not none of these things. It's AWS. This is where they make most of their money, right? So will people be using more AWS within the next 3 years? I say yes, especially as businesses cut costs in like unnecessary things. All that money will go back to the business itself, right? So bigger infrastructure, better infrastructure, right? Within 3 years, we can see a recession, but we'll definitely see a recovery, right? So the question is this the lowest Amazon can go? Maybe not, but is this a fantastic price to buy Amazon? I personally think so, right? We have here on the daily an inverse cup and handle that already seems to have played out. 85.7 does not seem to me that it will go below 85.7. I think buys here, like from where it currently is, all the way to 82. I think this is a very nice area to start scooping up some. If you can buy, like again, it depends here. If are you buying with everything that you have, or will you be adding more? So if you can afford just one contract, then I would say maybe wait for it a little bit to see if it hits like 85.7. If not, just get in. If you'll be buying multiple, I would definitely say then, you know what? Okay, so you can go here for, yeah, buy now and then more as it drops all the way to 82, something like that, right? Um, would you just buy a flat out shares? Flat out shares is not a bad idea. Again, this is one of the reasons why I think like 25 is, I think it's very far out, right? Like at this point, what's Delta, right? Like Delta and these would be pretty much not like, I think like Delta will be one, right? Like it will be as if you got shares. So I would say like no, maybe buy something a little bit closer. I would actually go for maybe like 1 year out, play the recovery, and I would get out. I don't even have to hold for one full year. I would just, like get out once it starts fully, not even fully recovering. Like I will play this move here. So let's say it goes down some more, a little bit here, and I think it's gonna bottom somewhere out here in this area, right? So and it starts doing this, probably hits the 200 MA somewhere here, right? So that will be like 110. If you buy in here right around this area, that'll be a nice like swing play, right? But if you want to play for longer, we can definitely, I think like we can get at least, at the very least, right, 125. That makes sense, right? So we at the very least, right, get this here. Don't forget, a lot of money is on the sidelines right now. A lot of cash is on the sidelines. This money will pour back in eventually, and it will pour back in solid names: Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, AMD, Nvidia. all these, right? So the question I have to ask myself here is that, can I see it above 125? Yes. But what is the safest life level? I see it at the very least, it will get back to 125. Hell, on a bear rally, it will go up to 125 easily, right? Just on a bear rally, right? Much less like an actual, proper rally, like once the Fed slows down and all that stuff, right? So I would say maybe you can get like July, right? So that's almost like 250 days out, which is quite a lot. You can get July, maybe 120. That's only $400, right? July 120, $400. That's less than a year from now, right? So maybe not fully a year, because some people say leaps are like 6 months plus, some people say a year plus. Uh, but I think you don't need to go as far out as 2025. I feel it's a lot too uh, it's a lot too much. Yeah, you can do 224 if you want. Jan 224 works as well. Let's see here. 120. 120 is $708. It's not bad as well. I don't feel you need to go up all that much, because again, we'll get a slowdown, but again, I think they might resume rates at some point, right? There's still a distinct possibility. So this is something you have to keep in mind. It's not going to be a straight line up, for like if we start slowing down and then pausing eventually, it's not going to be a straight line up afterwards. This is something you have to keep in mind. So I think July is good. January is definitely good if you can afford it. And I would recommend you start slow, right? So 120 is plenty, right? I wouldn't go 125. It's not necessary. 120 is plenty, and I would just average down from here, right? So right now is a very good price to be buying in. If you look at the daily, very very oversold, right? So it might be nice to start averaging here. We can expect it to go all the way down to 82. 82 is okay, right? My absolute minimum would be here, right? So I would keep like I would start now, get like 1 or 2 contracts depending on how much you have. So I would go in for 25% now, right? So 25% of my money would be now, and then I will start averaging on the way down here. Right? Keep an eye on the CPI as well, okay? Because CPI will give you a very good idea if things cool off, right? If the market starts cooling off, if inflation starts cooling off, then yeah, I would start, buying some more, because probably the Fed is gonna soften a lot. So this next CPI is going to be either give you a fantastic buying opportunity, or whatever you already got is going to start going up, so you average up instead of averaging down, right? So that works too. So I would say July is enough, or July 23 is enough, but January 19 works too. I would get the 120 strike. I will buy 25% of whatever I can afford right now, and I will start averaging down as it goes down here. I would wait 50% max until CPI, because CPI is going to last a few months. This CPI is going to be critical, right? So if CPI comes in cool, then we can expect the next 3 to 4 months, going up. So you're already well positioned. You can average up on the remaining 50% of your position. But if not, if CPI comes in hot, then fine, it will go down some more, no problem. We still have 50% of the ammo left. We can average down and then wait, for the eventual run. This is how I play it, just to be super safe and minimize risk as much as I can. So yeah, I hope this helps. I hope this makes sense. But if not, I can repeat all of this, no problem. It'll be up to you to pick if you want like July 23 or January 24. Both are cool. Both are fine. Obviously, July 23 is a bit riskier than January 19. So it's up to you. I'll leave this up to you, depending on your risk appetite. Thanks a lot. Helped. All right. Fantastic. Awesome. I'm just gonna go open up the slides here, and I'm gonna go for a little cigarette break, because we have been on for I think 3 hours now. So just a little break here, and then we'll be right back. We're back. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. Boom. Tesla 199. Ouch. Angelique says, take your time. Thank you, Angelique. You're very kind. All right. Oh my God. Look at Tesla. Down 3.7%. That's absolutely ugly. Wow. Tesla just dying off. That is disgusting. That is just absolutely disgusting. All right. So this is a very important psych level here. Let's see what Tesla does. I think it's going to just hang around here for a little bit. Right. But this is just like absolutely disgusting. Right. We're seeing like selling levels back to the Elon Musk level selling days, right? So I don't think he's selling. Maybe, who knows? I don't think he's selling. Man, if it comes out that he's selling because of Tesla deal, Tesla will get absolutely screwed. You will see Tesla drop off the cliff. This is the worst case scenario for a lot of people, right? Tesla getting screwed because of Twitter. This will freak people the fuck out. Like man, it will be very hard to come back from that for Elon. But yeah, I mean, like Apple is recovering some. Like definitely Tesla at this point is just like absolutely dragging the market down with it, right? Like it is just like, like it's very bad. Agreed on Tessie factor. Yeah, it's and again, it does make sense. Like if I was holding Tesla long term, I would wait. I would wait and see like what happens with China. Look at it, it's back to 200. Like this is what I was saying. 200 psych level. It's not gonna get lost very easily. Crypto says Market Watch says Kathy Griffin kicked off Twitter as free speech. About absolutist Elon Musk cracks down on blue check marked parody accounts targeting him. Well, I mean, yeah, like this was some crazy drama. I don't know if you guys saw it, but this comedian, Katie Griffin, he said like he tweeted like like we're gonna crack down on parody accounts impersonating me because people were just changing their name to Elon Musk, and then like he literally like she got banned immediately like few hours after that, I guess. And I mean, I don't think this would take Tesla down, honestly, but it is definitely not helping. That's for damn sure. It is definitely not helping. My personal opinion on this is that like I don't know. I think Elon Musk needs to get off Twitter at this point. Like anything he will do will always seem very like it will seem like he's being petty and small, right? Like I don't see how he does not seem petty and small after a move like this, even though it's probably like putting laying the law of the land, but still. All right, looks like Elon Musk 23 minutes ago put something to independent-minded voters. Damn it, Elon. Why are you getting involved in this? Shared power curbs the worst excesses of both parties. Therefore, I recommend voting for a Republican Congress, given the presidency is Democratic. Hardcore Democrats or Republicans never vote for the other side, so independent voters are the one who actually decide who's in charge. Elon Musk, you're not helping anyone here, man. You dude, you just stop. Just stop. Look, Angelique is freaking out. She's like, "Why, Elon? Come on." Like, dude, like Angelique, for those of you who don't know, is one of the biggest Tesla bulls out there. I am too, by the way. I'm a big believer long term in this company. I think this company will take will change the world later on. But like, what the fuck, man? Like, dude, like it will never come off as anything good. Like you're saying here, well, like I mean, it's fine for you to have an opinion, but you have too much attached to your name. Tesla does not run ads, right? We all know that. Tesla does not do ads. Why? Because Elon is the brand, right? They sold fucking flamethrowers and vodka or whatever the fuck he was selling and all that in minutes just because he said, like, hey, it's like I'm selling this. He is the brand. People buy what he recommends. We already all know that. And if he's the brand and he's doing this, then I mean, we all know, let's face it, right? The Democrats, the liberals, they're the ones who propped up Tesla to begin with. And okay, fine. Like you don't mind losing it now, given that Tesla got so big that you don't need them. Okay, fine. But like, why are you doing this? This is not. Why can't you just shut up? You know what I mean? Why not just not get involved? Why not hand the reins to some CEO for Twitter? And that person, he or she, will be the one who's responsible for everything. You take a step back, Do what Crypto Panda is saying. Take a fucking day off, and let people who actually this is their main job, who can be, and get someone who's gonna be neither Democratic or Republican. You said yourself that, hey, I want Twitter to be, a free haven, right? Neither left nor right. You're saying vote Republican. I am more. I'm not American, so I don't get a vote, but I am inclined more Republican than Democrat. As funny as this may be, but like my views are more Republican than they are Democrat. But like, dude, you said you're gonna be neutral. You're not being neutral. This is gonna freak everyone out. Like, this is you are not managing this properly, my friend. I don't know. Whatever. All right. Federal Reserves just put up walls. Okay. So the better. Okay. Wow. Maybe they're going with a super rate hike or something. Oh, we'll see. 37% of real estate agents couldn't pay their rent October, up from 27% in September. See, this is what I was talking about, right? This is what I was talking about with the CPI analysis. This is what I'm telling you, right? Is that I think the rate hikes are taking effect. I think we're gonna start seeing the rate hikes effects take soon, right? Any consumer durable, housing, cars, anything that's loan related, right, is gonna take a substantial hit in demand pretty damn soon. And I think we're gonna see it in this next report. I think it's gonna come in very, very nice and cool, and I think it's gonna pay off in spades. This is what I think. I could be wrong, I don't know, but everything that we're seeing so far kind of points this way. Very yucky session. I can't agree more, my friend. Like, this is, at least like SPX wise, SPY wise, yeah, this is not even the good chop like this, where like you get big moves up, big moves down, and you make money on the moves up and down. This is just like, this is the absolute worst version of chop. I don't care what you got, like what calls or puts, unless they're a week out, you're getting absolutely hammered on premium here. Like, one way or the other, you're losing premium. No one is making money off this. Like, this is pretty damn bad. This is very ugly. And look, and the VIX, what is the VIX doing? It lost 200 MA, can't even break the low here and go back and fill the gap. We're gonna need to see a big move down from VIX to see some sort of like sharp rise and the SPY. I don't know, but this it can be very much summed up with this very yucky session. I could not agree more. All right. Okay, blah blah blah. That's pretty damn funny. Meta employees to be offered real estate in the metaverse as part of severance package. This guy is a parody account. He makes fun. I don't think this is real. I hope it's not, at least. But all right. Ivanka Trump voted. Good for you. Okay, this guy, I like this guy. All right, so this is something that I've been getting into, and you guys need to pay attention to this because I think this is very important. So this guy uses Elliott wave theory to protect the market, right? So to predict moves in the market. He's been very much spot on for a lot of things lately. He misses, of course, like his last expected move. He's expecting the market to go down, as we all were, honestly, but he got it wrong. So what? Like, you can't get them all. But for the most part, he has been very, very, very spot on. This is his handle here on Twitter, in case someone wants. It's Mauro Bianchi 24. Yeah, something just in case you guys want to follow him. But using the Elliott wave theory, he's expecting here the next move will be up, right? So this is an impulsive move down, right? So we got the first move down here, which from the corrective wave. So ABC is the correction, and then you get, after the correction, you get an impulsive move up or down. In this case, it's down, right? Since the overall trend is down. So ABC, we got the corrective move up. We're almost done with the corrective move. So the expectations is the first move here will be up. So he expects us to go all the way up to between 3,800 and 3,866, which we kind of saw today, right? So today we did touch 3,800 on the SPX, right? So that did already happen, and he expects here that this could go all the way up to 866, which still again makes sense from a levels point of view. And then after that, we start the next, the wave 3 part, right? This is the meat of the move. This is the biggest move in an impulsive wave for those of you guys who are well versed in Elliott wave theory, right? So this would be, according to this analysis, this technical analysis here, that acquiring shorts between 3,800 and 3,866 is the optimal area to acquire shorts for a big move down all the way to 3,550. So just something to keep an eye on. I like watching this guy's analysis. They do make sense the majority of the time, and it's always nice to get a different perspective on your things. So yeah, looks like VIX dropped. CryptoPanda saying VIX making new lows, so that's nice. And of course, we see that coupled with the SPY, of course, reclaiming 50 and 21 MA. And, it's trying here for new lows, but we're not seeing it. All I'm seeing here is lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, and lower lows, lower lows, lower lows. I don't know. It's not really looking very bullish here for the SPY. But if we are able to, again, break the 378 level here, we can see new highs. But till then, things are looking kind of bearish and boring here for the SPY, like absolutely too boring. But yeah, VIX, finally VIX is dropping here, going for the remainder of the gap fill, not accompanied by the, a very big move here in the SPY. I mean, it's obviously a big move if you went in here at the lows, but honestly, how would that be a trigger? A trigger would be like reclaiming the 21 MA and the 50 MA. That would be the trigger. If anything, you get it now, right, for a move up, but how far really would it go up? You know what I mean? We're gonna be touching upstart or staying away from it. I would say more. I don't know. Like, I'm not super happy with this sell-off right before here, right? So I'm not super happy with it. If you can take a small sized lotto call, go for it, right? The DD has not changed, so you can go for something that's lotto. I can't buy anything today. But I will take a lot of call tomorrow, right? So, but just a lot of, right? So I take small size for earnings. I'm gonna take half that size for upstart and affirm, just because the expected move will be like just so high up, right? So it was 25% before today, right? So we probably reclaim this and then some if we go up. But we're gonna have to wait and see. And could be that these people know something, they are selling for good reason. That is also another distinct possibility here, so keep that in mind. But at this point, I would get in, and I would get in around now if I could. Very small size lotto, like super small size, because again, if I'm right, the small size will pay off big, but if I'm wrong, then hey, small loss, right? BA beasting since their announcement, honestly. Look at this. Since they came out with that Investors Day and gave guidance, it's just been absolutely like off the charts beasting, right? For all the good reasons. Like, if they're able to achieve what they claim, man. Okay, see, Oxy now is making moves that I understand. Because when I saw the flow for Oxy, and this is why I'm not included because they have earnings, it looked very bearish. And I was like, what in the hell? Like, why is Oxy... How could Oxy be bearish, right? An oil company, like bearish. All oil companies beat all of them. So I was a bit confused by that, but it makes absolute sense to be up 3% here today. I really like Oxy for a call, just because everyone else beat. Yeah, even BP that I was kind of iffy about still, went up. Chevron, again, beat, went up. Exxon, it was the first one to, have a big run up. So yeah, I think Oxy beats too. I don't see a reason why they don't beat. My only problem with them is very small implied move, and it's starting to seem like it's again getting priced in. A beat is getting priced in. So, but of course, Oxy, 21% of Oxy is owned by Warren Buffett. So, but this is not something I take into consideration for one simple reason. Warren Buffett will hold something for 10, 20 years. He doesn't care about one quarter. So, but it stands to reason that everyone else beats, so this will also beat, right? And EOG at $100 after Tessie, what's EOG? Am I reading that right? EOG? I don't know what EOG is. EOG is Enron. I worked for them. I'm gonna check it. EOG Energy and Oil Resources. Look at them. Even with bad earnings, they still went up. Wow, that is a ginormous revenue beat. 21%. Like again, the estimate was 6.2 billion. 21%. When we're talking billions here, this is off the fucking charts. That is crazy. Let's see here. Yeah, that's a very good. You got in at $100. Wow. But what do you mean after Tessie? Like what happened with Tesla that made you get into EOG? Because if you have like wow, you got in $100, $150 worth now, that's crazy. Oh, best after Tessie, that makes sense. Wow, if you got in $100, congratulations, that 50% up. That is very good. Sizzy used to work for them. All right, so I'm not saying because that would be illegal. I'm not saying like to give us any inside information if you have it because that is illegal, and of course we do not condone that. But if I'm saying if you type it by mistake in the Discord, if you have any sort of like inside information, and if you type it by mistake, then like it's not on us if we saw it by mistake as well, right? So mistakes happen. That's all I'm saying, So like this is the one use of the Discord that we could possibly have is like to get like information, but like if anyone from the SEC is watching, I'm not condoning or asking for any inside information. This is a joke. This is a joke. Wink wink. Okay, so would you take a call on Tessie now that they're holding strong at 200? Well, I don't know, because remember what we said about Amazon? Like I said, Amazon would hold for a while at 100, and it did, but it eventually lost it, right? So it holding at a certain price for a while, especially a psychological price, sure, it can bounce off, but it can also fall down, right? So all it means is that it will hold here at this price for a while, right? So this is literally all it means, right? And again, like we're seeing this here, right? So we said it will hold for 200, and it is holding for 200. It's not holding for 200 because hey, like it is done. It's holding for 200 because it's a big psych level. A lot of people want to get in for now, right? So would I buy Tesla at the pre-equivalent of the pre-split at $600? Fuck yes, I would, right? But leaps again, or swings, long swings, 3-4 month out swings for Tesla. People are freaked out at Tesla for two super good reasons. Chinese lockdowns, very valid concern. Will really hurt the next few quarters for Tesla if that happens, just like it will probably hurt the next few quarters for Apple. Risky. And the fucking madman at the helm, right? Elon Musk, who seems to be every day doubling down more and more on his fucking crazy rants. And again, don't get me wrong, I love Tesla, I love Elon. This is coming from a place of love, not hate. He and as much as I agree with like a lot of the things he's saying, it is not for him to say. He needs someone else to be in his place to say this. So combine these two factors together, and Tesla becomes a little bit of a scary play. But will Tesla eventually, long term, 2-3 years from now, go back? I actually believe that Tesla 2-3 years, maybe 5 years at least from now, will be the biggest company in the SPY, right? A lot of people are saying the same thing as well, right? And you can call fanboy or whatever, but just again from a fundamental perspective and what Tesla has to offer, no, come on, like it's crazy, right? So would I get calls here? Not unless the market starts turning around. Like unless if SPY really pulls off and breaks the level that we're talking about, yeah, we can see some recovery here and on Tesla. But why would I go on for Tesla when I can go for some other things that are much more safer, right? So like I wouldn't touch Tesla, I wouldn't touch Apple, but I can go for Amazon, I can go for Microsoft, right? Things that are showing strength. Hell, even Meta today is better. Look at Meta, it's up fucking 6.5%. It's just absolutely crazy, right? uh Sizian is saying, haha, nah, that was 15 years ago. Just funny people forgot that EOG was Enron. I didn't even know that EOG was Enron. I just know that I thought they were gone for good, right? I thought that was after the scandal they were done for. But hey, that was one hell of a recovery. Damn. Uh, would be careful now with Tessie. He might say some nonsense. Yeah, that's that's the problem, right? Like again, it just comes out of nowhere. The guy, like we saw what he posted, right? Like it is not in anyone's best interest when the CEO of a very big public company takes sides, right? Come on, like with all due respect to my American brothers and sisters, like you guys are very sensitive about these things, and you move and things do really move very quickly based on that. So you risk alienating maybe half of the population who have very strong feelings about this, right? Let's say half of the population who vote Democrat or liberal don't really, have very strong feelings about this, right? So you kind of alienate a big part of the population who are potential customers for your product. For what? For what? What is this? What do you call someone who is a master at baiting? For fuck's sake, dude, are you 5? He's making a masturbating joke. Dude, like, see, he's making a masturbating joke when your company just lost a couple of billions in market cap. Your company lost a couple of billions here, and you're making a masturbating joke. Like, for fuck's sake, dude. If you don't like Twitter anymore, there's an awesome site called Masturbaton. Yeah, there's this other site that people are posting on. I never heard of it before. I don't know where it came off. But like when this Kathy Griffin, a woman, left, she went to that like muster whatever the fuck is called site. That was pretty weird. Okay, folks, looks like as the servers are overloaded yesterday, I'll start cross-porting from the other side. Testing again. Test. This is a test. Blah blah blah. Whatever the fuck. But yeah. Gee, I wonder why the screen is so dirty. My friend, you just told people about another site that is a potential competitor to your website, and you made people aware of it. It was nothing, and you made it something. You, by just bringing it into the spotlight, bringing focus on it as the anti-Twitter, you just gave it a lot of traffic for no good reason. Maybe some people might move towards it because of the Katie Griffin thing, but it would have died off and no one would have considered it. But you specifically calling it out, you made it specifically a direct competitor. This is the best thing that could happen to fucking, whatever that site is. And you just gave them like an early Christmas present. Man, like, I wish I owned that website. I'd have just jumped out and kissed you right on the mouth, man. This is like ABC marketing, right? Yeah, Elon Musk is just like, yeah, he's all over the place, man. Angelique saying, right? Yeah, I mean, like, Elon is not being that smart nowadays. No, sir, he's not. No, he's being the opposite of smart. He's being childish. He's being vindictive. He's being small for no reason. And he could be, the worst thing is that he could be all these things. He could literally be all these things, but he can do it through someone else, right? Like he can get someone else and do these things through them, as all the big people do. Like, do you think Jeff Bezos has no opinions? He has, but he just uses PR firms and the Washington Post and other people to do these things for him. So he just, so his company does not get affected by this stuff. Like, I should go and make more babies. He looks like he might have. Holy shit, look at this. DWAC up 30%. Wow. Man, it was up a lot more than that. It was all the way up to 30.2 here. Why the hell is DWAC up this much? What, are people moving from, I don't know, Twitter to DWAC? Does the Mastodon thing, is it owned by DWAC or like it's because Trump is running. Okay, so that makes sense. Share DWAC shares trade seem to be the only people on the planet who did not know that Trump was going to run. Yeah, for those of you who didn't know, he said he is gonna announce on the 14th. Honestly, this might be a possible short opportunity just because he said he was going to run for like 9,000 times so far. So uh I don't know, like, if the 14 comes and goes and he does not announce, this will die off again. If the 14 comes and he announces that he's going to run, this is going to run a lot more. This will be probably $100 stock, like easy. Die VIX die so my calls can print. All right, so let's see what the let's see what the SPY is doing. Back to our trades. Bye bye Tesla. Looks like Tesla lost the 199. That makes sense. Oh yeah, that was a big drop. Tesla just lost the 200 level. But I think again we'll probably just keep doing this, like dropping sharply, going up sharply, and going back to base. I'll probably just hang out there for a while. SPY. Yeah, SPY 0.3 still. Look at this disgusting chop. This is not even higher lows anymore. This is nothing. This is just like flat out nothing. This is a disgusting chart, right? It's not even like channeling in a big channel where you get like some nice juicy moves like this. Is it channeling in the worst possible place to channel here? What's the 1 day look like? We getting anything here? So RSI is in the middle, so nothing. All right, so okay, so this is interesting. Okay, so 1 day gives us a very different picture, right? So we have here the 21 EMA holding on Friday. Cool, fair enough. Sort of, I want to say a hammer, but like trying for a hammer. But looks like today we might get a doji candle. Actually, if we get a doji candle today, this might not be bad, right? Because what's the trend here, right? Bearish. So we get a doji candle trend reversal, then we might see it start going up, right? So this is sort of consolidating a little bit here under the 50 MA, right? But of course, absolutely rejecting the 50 MA almost 2 times, right? But we know that the 50 MA on the 1 day chart will not be sliced through just like that, right? So we can expect here some consolidation underneath it. Now it's gonna depend on how this candle closes here, right? So we've been getting a lot of these days. Look at this, like long wicks, 10 bodies, long wicks, 10 bodies, right? Like days which are neither here nor there. But if we get a doji candle here today, it's gonna be pretty damn interesting. So yeah, we're gonna have to wait and see. VIX does seem like it's dying, and it looks like it wants to go and test this line again here, which we said in the watch list today, which we said is a very distinct possibility that it happens. So we might definitely see that happening again here, again, because we never went for a retest though. It tested but never retested, so would not be crazy for us to see it just going all the way down here and testing it again. That is definitely a possibility. But from the way things are looking right now, we're about to fill the gap, and the SPY is not reacting accordingly. It's shaping up to be a pretty dull day here so far. So yeah, it is what it is. Tesla, yeah, see, this is why I said, we lost 200. We'll stay there for a while. Does not mean we cannot go down. Yeah, it looks like it just like went down here. 197. Let's look at the higher time frame here for Tesla. Ugly. Very ugly. All right, so wow, 197 looks like a support that we have not tested for a very, very long time. 1 day. Wow, we have not tested the 197 for like almost more than a year now, a year and a few months. You know what? If the 182 holds, it will not be in this account because obviously I don't have much money in my small account challenge. But if we get 182 for Tesla, I'm gonna go for a leap here. I'm gonna go for like maybe a 6 month out or 1 year out leap if we hit 182. But I want 182 for Tesla, right? Because 182 for Tesla, man, that's absolutely crazy, right? So we do seem here to have an H pattern forming. I have 2024 leaps in Tesla. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Bye bye Tesla broke 52 weeks lows, and Angelique says, let's get calls. Honestly, calls are looking more juicier and juicier by the minute. I'm not gonna lie, to be very honest with you. It's starting to look like a good play here. Uh, but far out calls, obviously, like not calls for now. Uh, but yeah, like for me, like where it's not even like I don't even think about it. 182.82. This support here. Yeah, 182.2 is where I just like I get leaps. I don't think about it. I'm not even thinking. I'm just buying leaps. 100% at 182.2. We are at the 187.62 support though, which is like we had not tested this for like a year and a few months here. So this is pretty far out, like super far out here. So we might stay here for a while. We might bounce back to the 200 level. I don't know. Interesting to see what Tesla is doing here. And again, this kind of selling pressure is starting to worry me a little bit. It is very reminiscent for those of you who were playing Tesla during when Elon was selling. This is very reminiscent of someone with a lot of shares selling here. What is the volume? Average day volume is 68 million. We're at 40 million, and we're not even 2 hours in the market, right? What, like we started here 4:30 my time, so we'll be 2 hours in 15 minutes, and we're almost like we're 20 million shares only away from the average 10-day volume. So definitely above average volume here so far today. So I think someone who shares is selling. I think someone who has got like a decent amount of shares is selling here. I could be wrong. We'll find out in a few days anyway. They have to file the Form 10, so it's not like they can hide it or anything. We're gonna find out like sooner rather than later, actually. So we just have to wait and see for now. Affirm and Upstart just from worst to worst here. Just again, a lot of selling, a lot of big selling here. Does not really give one much confidence given that the whole sector, finance sector, is really green here, with the exception of the third, that is Credit Suisse. But everything is like at worst a little bit green. We're seeing just massive hemorrhaging here. Affirm and Upstart. I don't know, makes one rethink his position, right? Carvana halted up and down, now back to going down again. Let's go $5, baby. Let's go $5. I want to see you $5 and below. That'll make me happy. That'll make me very, very happy. Right, BA cooling off a little bit. Airlines, Norwegian cruise lines has earnings as well. So that's also gonna be interesting. Norwegian always has the same thing, like it runs up towards the earnings and then keeps missing. I think like every time people are like, this is it, and then it just like it starts dying off again. I don't know, like the chart wasn't super helpful, but like it's really following the same pattern that it does. Like if you look here, every time it's like for the longest time it's been the same thing. Like look, run up, right, and then earnings hammered down, and then run up, and then hammered down again by earnings, and then run up, earnings takes it down, and then run up, and then earnings take it's the same thing. And again, we're getting the same thing here. Like again, run up before the earnings. I don't know, like Affirm puts. Dude, I'm not gonna lie, it's starting to look like it. This is a pretty substantial sell-off, 6% in one day. Honestly, I would just stay the fuck away from Affirm and Upstart. If you want to take a lotto call, be my guest, but make sure it's a lotto, not anything more than that. But I don't know. This is not like this is not very super inspiring here. For calls, I don't know. And for puts, it's the same thing. Like I don't know how more it can go down, at least for like today or tomorrow. But like we're 52-week lows here almost, right? So I don't know how much more it has in it to go down. 16 calls risky, very risky. Any calls on Upstart or Affirm, given the huge sell-off, are gonna be super risky. Super risky. So I'd be very careful. Buy, if you're going to buy, go in for the minimum amount assume that this is money you have zero problems 100% losing and never seeing again, right? So like for me, my account, oh by the way, an update on my account, like I took a huge hit. Pretty much I gave back everything that I won last week. Kind of like it was like a useless week for me. So yeah, I took a pretty substantial hit there. So but like again, for account my size, normally I do 5%, which would be what, like $250, right? No, I in that case I would do even less. I would do like 2.5%, like $100, $200, $120, $130, one contract basically. Like I would get, for account my size, I would get one contract, right? And hey, if I'm right, 25% applied moved with the like a drawdown this big, yeah, that $100 has the potential of turning to $1,000. If I'm wrong, I lost $100. I don't give a fuck about it, right? So this would be how I think, but because yeah, while the DD stays, but like, dude, this is scary. Like huge drop off like this, I don't know. Could be people are freaking out. Happens all the time. I'm thinking a firm bottomed out, to be honest, but who knows? Yeah, exactly my thinking, right? Like you hit the nail on the nail on the head there, right? Like it does. It seems very close to all-time lows here, 52-week lows. I think, yeah, people are freaked out enough here. I don't think it's gonna go below that. I agree with you. Which takes off a little bit of the risk, but who knows? Like you said, who knows? Like, like it's reacting very weirdly here. Um, Hey, it could be the play of the lifetime. That's why I would say, like, again, I would risk like 2% of my portfolio, like one contract, something like that. Big payoff if I'm right. If I'm wrong, I lost $100 relative to my account size. Hey, I can make it back in one day, right? So no biggie. Grab Kermana 6.6 puts 11.11. Yeah, makes sense, right? It's a third. Again, I'm not seeing anything in their future that signals reversal, right? No management change, no nothing. They're not improving customer service. They're not doing anything. Yeah, and again, for what, it's been dropping for the third day in a row, right? Like, I would be careful though that it might have dropped too much and just get like a little bear rally at best. But I don't know. People have not been very reacting very well to it. Like, big turd here. Uh, Hope your puts print, my friend. Apple kind of recovering a little bit, back to down being 1% only. Tesla just lost it, right? Tesla just like death. It's just like death. Uh, yeah, but at least it's holding this support here for now, so that's something maybe. Uh, Cause Hood even sold off before earnings, but let's see. I agree with you. Like again, I believe the DD is the same. Everyone beat Hood, SoFi, all the banks, and at least Hood and SoFi are notorious earnings missers, and they don't really do so well, and they're sort of in the same realm as a firm and Upstart. Uh, so if those beat, I would think others will beat, but I don't know. Like you guys now have all the DD and everything in front of you. Uh and my personal play is will still be calls, but very, very small call, like one contract at best. Tomorrow when I can buy, it'll be just like not more than one contract, right? AMD, Nvidia all over the place. VIX, what's VIX doing? Still consolidating here around that level. SPY just like, look at this. Absolute shit, ugly, disgusting, right? Not looking good at all. What's the dollar doing? Yeah, dollar's not doing much at all. It dropped off, but like, you would have thought like with the market going red a little bit, like it would have, gone up some more. But no, looks like the dollar is starting like to sell off here a little bit, I guess. No, it's not. It's down. Look, the XY is down 0.4%. Nasdaq up a little bit. How are our sectors doing? Communication sucks. Down 1.4%, which is weird because no, that was something else. XLC, real estate down a little bit. This is very interesting. Energy up a lot. Energy up 2%, which makes sense when you see the energy sector up a lot. You can see, of course, tech down. So It's not down by much here, but you know, I don't know. The market is all over the place, guys. Like nothing is making sense. Natural gas, I love, up 5% one day, down 10% the next, up 12% today. I mean, like, natural gas is all over the fucking place. CEO is saying to play earnings is the best to buy the day off earnings or the day before. You want to buy ideally 2 weeks before or 3 weeks before, right? You want to avoid IV, right? When IV becomes very, very high the day off or the day before, more time beforehand you got, the safer and better you will become. So I would definitely say at least 2 weeks out if possible, if not more. Cizian says, REI, if anyone likes penny stocks. I feel like I've come across REI, maybe even played it. Ring Energy. Wow, up 8%. Is it just because like oil plays are running, or did they have like news? By the way, when it comes to penny stocks, guys, like Twitter is your friend. Like Twitter, maybe stock twits, but Twitter for the most part, like Twitter is your absolute friend. Like one of the squeeze plays seems to be squeezing. I don't know, but bought in at 2.2. Nice. See, this is what I love about like penny stocks, right? Is like my man says in here got in at 2.2. At 3.4, that is around the 40-50% play, right? Through shares, like just through shares, right? Like this is just nuts. Like this is absolutely crazy. And 2.2 will be what, like around here. Look at that guy. He absolutely nailed the bottom. Dude, did you get in around here, or was it like before? Because if you got in around here, you like just like absolutely like nailed the super bottom. Like, well done if you did. Yep, right there. Son of a bitch. Look at that. Like the guy timed it absolutely perfectly. Well done. Well done. Like absolute bottom buy all the way up to here. Yeah. I'm guessing it's going up with the market, because like, by the way, all of them are gonna say everything is a short squeeze. In penny stocks land, everything is a short squeeze. It's probably not a short squeeze. In case you want to know, you need to get something like Ortex, right? So Ortex.com, right? So Ortex, by the way, is a great tool and scanner and screener and all that stuff. And just in case you want to get something that helps you, look at just the market in general. But it is a little expensive, I'm not gonna lie, but it's super helpful. And of course, if you're playing short squeezes, man, it's invaluable, right? So like you'll see people saying short squeeze, short interest, blah blah blah, right? So all you have to do is just like pop it in here, Ring Energy, right? And then we can see if they're what they're saying is true or not. So you go here, look at it, it's absolutely beautiful, right? And if you guys want me to do like any stocks here, even like large caps and everything, because it shows you everything like fundamentals, events, corporate actions, what analysts are thinking, who's holding institutional holdings, when is the dividends, shows you options, actions, shorts, insiders buying. Like you get everything. This is like sort of a cheaper Bloomberg, right? So absolutely like essential if you were like into fundamentals and all that stuff. All right, so they're saying here it's a short squeeze, right? So all I have to do is just look at the short interest for the past 7 days, and we see here that only 9% of the free float was on loan, right? And short interest is 19%. So that was not a short squeeze. Like that is just bullshit right there, right? So I would not. It's probably going up, with oil prices. So also, like, tell us, Cizian, like, why did he get in? Like, what was it trigger? Like, why did he get in at 2.2? Was it like, did you see an alert on Twitter or Reddit or something like that, or or what was it? All right, let's see here. Crypto, it's crypto kind of is, I don't know, all over the place, right? So you have Ethereum and ADA up, but Bitcoin taking a hit. But they're all still in the same range that we were talking about before, right? So it's the same disgusting channel that they have been stuck in for a month now, right? So look at this, right? This is daily chart. yeah, June, right? So we're going into almost 6 months now, 5 months, and it's the same disgusting channel that we're in. You just, all you have to do, just like you smack this support here, and we can say one smaller resistance here and a bit bigger one right here, and voila, you're done. And this is the channel where pretty much all crypto has been stuck in for the longest time, right? So kind of sucks, but yeah. All right, so I saw energy was going up, so I got in cheap. Yeah, there you go. Right. So this is the beauty of penny stocks, where if you don't want exposure to, options and all that stuff, but you still want the big gains, 50%, 100%, 200% runners. If you want those, but you don't want exposure to theta and gamma, all the stuff, A, futures, and B, penny stocks, right? I love penny stocks. I have a whole brand dedicated to penny stocks, so obviously I like penny stocks, but they can make you very decent money if you understand how they work. Like, of course, they have the drawbacks, right? But if you understand how they work, so they can really make you some decent returns. All right, let's see what else is going. Wow, Apple, one hell of a recovery. Look at that. Apple, down only 0.5% now. That's not bad at all. That's nice. There you go. Reclaim the 200 MA, right? The $1 million question: will it finally hold the 200 MA, right? Or is it done? Again, when you see 2 days like this does signal kind of a bottoming out here. So that's nice. So let's see here. Amazon also seems to be kind of holding its own a little bit here. So we're seeing a little bit of a, U-turn in the market, right? Apple, Tesla, right off the 197 support, going back to the 200 level. Like we said, is gonna hold it here for a while. So that's to be expected. AMD, Nvidia, green, nice, very nice, cool. VIX, what are you doing, VIX? Son of a bitch. VIX still exactly where it is. But SPY is up, so that's nice. So SPY is up 0.4%. This is starting to look like some sort of, ascending triangle here, right? So, right, excuse my shit lines, but right. So this is shaping to be in some sort of ascending triangle. And if that's the case, then that is bullish, and we can see a nice breakthrough up here. So hopefully that will be the situation. But definitely bullish formation here on the chart, 5-minute chart. So that's cool. And I'm guessing like it does play out, with the VIX just out of nowhere dropping down a lot, and the SPY out of nowhere just going in the opposite direction up. So that definitely could be the play here. All right. So since I'm not able to take plays, and I believe I answered everyone's question, and I am afraid to go into territory where I'm boring you guys, we're gonna just call it a day here. We've been streamed for 4 hours. Hopefully I did not bore you guys too much to the point where you don't return tomorrow. Thank you everyone for joining me today, and if you have not liked the video, please like the video. It does really help a lot. If you're not subscribed, of course, please do subscribe to the channel, and join us in the Discord. This is where we all go after we're done here on the stream. We all go back to the Discord. It's really fun. I love it. So if you haven't, please do that. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll definitely see you guys tomorrow. Thank you guys.